We got to update that merch graphic, man.
Yes, we do. We do have to update the merch graphic.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome, Robo, to the pre-show show.
The pre-show show?
The pre-show show. Got Commander Cook hanging out with us. A couple of other people, but Commander Cook said hi, so I'll say hi back. And Colonel
Mark.
Angus. Anyways, so if I don't know if you know this, Robo, if you've been following me on social media, I'm moving. Mm-hmm. And that's why there's nothing behind me. So we bought tickets because instead of, I was like, oh, we got to drive. It'd be fun to drive from here to Illinois, like a fun road trip. And like, I've got cats and I'm also lazy. So I was like, no, we're going to fly. And my wife, who's a little on the bougie side, is like, can we fly first class? It's only one way, so it's not that expensive or as expensive as it normally would be. And I was like, fine, we can fly first class.
I mean, if you have cats.
And we have cats. That's what I'm thinking. Like, we'll have more room. The cats can, because they have to go down under you in their little cat carriers. Mm-hmm. So we have it, but you have to like call up the airline and be like, yo, we have cats. And you have to pay like an extra fee and stuff. So we booked our tickets, 2 first class tickets. And we call up the airline like the next day and just be like, hey, we just wanted to let you know we've got cats. And they're like, we can add a cat for one of you, but not the other because there's too many cats on the airplane.
Too many cats.
I guess they have a quota for a maximum number of cats they have on an airplane. I'm like, well, that's not going to work because like this isn't like a trip. Like we're moving here. Like we have to bring our cats. That's how we're getting them there.
Yeah, it's like non-negotiable.
Exactly. And so they're looking through it and like actually the problem isn't that there's too many cats, it's that the place you're flying into, because we're flying to Chicago and then we're flying into like the city that we live in, which is Champaign, which is a little bit south of Chicago. And they're like, that airport won't let you fly in with 2 cats, only 1 cat. And I was like, why? And they're like, actually, it's not the airport, it's the airplane because it's a smaller airplane. And because you're in first class, they only can have 1 cat in first class. So I was like, fine.
Oh my gosh.
Fine. Downgrade me to like coach or whatever on that second leg of the trip. And they're like, well,
because it's not right. I mean, it's only so many minutes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that was, we got there. So we'll get there. So they're like, okay. They're like, well, we can't downgrade one of you without canceling the whole thing and rebooking it with the right level of ticket. And they looked at doing that like, well, there's actually no more first class seats left. So if we cancel your first class on the whole thing, there's a chance that your first leg someone will buy the ticket up in the meantime. And I'm like, okay, fine. Can we just cancel like the whole second? Like we'll just land in Chicago and just drive. We'll rent a car and just drive the 2 hours south. Like not a big deal. We could. They're like, anyway. No, because it's a connecting flight. We can't do that. So I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
What am I supposed to do to get 2 cats on here? So our current plan is to fly into Chicago because we got both our cats in first class on the airplane from San Diego to Chicago. And then we're just going to like put up a stink. And if they're like, hey, no, both cats can't fly, then we'll just drive. And my wife's like, what about our luggage? It's going to go to the final destination. I'm like, that's fine. That's where we're going anyway. Like, we'll just go pick it up at the airport. We'll just go pick it up at the airport. Like, this whole thing has been and it wouldn't have been a problem if we hadn't have wanted to be bougie and do first class. If we had just gotten like normal ass tickets, it would not have been a problem at all. No one would have cared. It's because we got first class tickets that we're having this issue. So if anyone wants to take a lesson away from this, don't go above your station. If you're not a first class person, just accept your role in coach. You'll be fine.
What I don't get, if you cancel, there's no first class. I mean, aren't you canceling and rebooking the exact same seat?
Yeah, but so in the meantime, like they're saying that the plane was booking so fast that someone could have booked that one seat. Like if I had dropped it, they canceled it, that seat frees up, someone could theoretically like take it. And I was like, I mean, we could gamble on that, but then the problem is like, what if they had like, I don't know, like it doesn't. The way I'm going to do it is we're just going to eat that cost. We're just like, we're just going to eat the cost of that second trip because honestly, it's fine. Like it's fine. I just want to get there. Just want to get there with my cats. That's all I want to do. So
that's a mess.
It's a mess. It's a big old mess. How is everyone doing? How are you guys?
You should have just flew into Louisville. Then I could just drive.
You just drive me.
Yeah, that'd be plan C. If nothing else works out, just let me.
Yeah, well, I could also just fly to Indianapolis, and then Nate, Justin, and Nate could have taken me. But Robo, we haven't talked in quite some time. How have you been?
I don't know how fast you're going to be going down the interstate highway.
Yeah. That's fair.
Could be 92, 95.
That's true.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Robo's in the back of my seat, the back of my car, probably freaking out. I had to follow Coffee,
Yeah, he was making a mad dash.
Coffee drives like freaking Anakin Skywalker in a star speeder, like just crazy.
This is pod racing, guys.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that more on the show.
I can't wait to hear. I haven't heard any stories from ICCC, which is weird because I feel like I felt really left out, but also I've been too busy to care.
Well, that's because you were there yesterday, I mean, or last year. I mean, you were there last year, so maybe you're getting, those saddies from not being with the boys this year.
I did miss hanging with the boys.
I mean, the con. We'll talk about the con. Don't
blow it. Don't. Yeah, we'll talk about
on the podcast. We'll talk about the con
more, on the podcast,
but not to spoil anything. And I think Robo probably shares the same sentiment. Like the con itself, if you weren't going to hang out with people, do you really go back a second time unless you live within an hour of it? Probably not.
You're in Arkansas, right, Robo?
Yeah. Other side of the state.
Yeah.
So I drove across. Which was
I used to live in Memphis. I remember Arkansas was like right there across the Mississippi Bridge.
Yep, over that bridge and then into the mess of Memphis and Tennessee.
Yeah, right next to that pyramid that used to be the Memphis Pyramid. Now it's a Bass Pro Shop.
Yep. seems like I saw documentary on about that.
They did, yeah. That was how I learned it was a Bass Pro Shop. Was like I think I saw the Harlem Globetrotters play there one time when I lived there, and now it's a Bass Pro Shop.
Yep, you pass right by.
Yep.
All right, you ready to get the actual show going? Robo, how this is gonna work. We're gonna kick you out for a bit, and then we're gonna start the audio podcast, and then we'll do an introduction for you, bring you back in, ask you how you're doing, and blah blah blah.
Okay.
And yeah, you've done this before, so
yeah.
All right, let's kick Robo out now that he's gone.
Well, don't talk bad about him. He can still hear us.
That's true. Well, actually, so what we're going to do, we only invited Robo just to listen to the podcast live.
Oh, he's just in the green room the whole time. I guess
he's just down there laughing in the green room. So
that's right. We just have what I should do is screen record just his reactions and then just play it like you could see.
Yeah, it's like in the corner.
Silently laughing or whatever. Yeah, no, that's stupid. Hi there. Welcome to Black Series Cantina 97, which sounds like some kind of event that happened in 1997. And I know that because I was alive for it. And everything, when you were in the late 90s, they ended everything in the year because it sounded cool because you were leading up to the 2000s and everyone was so excited to get there. Zach, do you remember that? Were you alive for that?
I was 3 years old in 1997.
You do not remember that whatsoever.
No, not at all. I was still a toddler running around playing with my 3 3/4 Star Wars action figures,
appropriately sized.
Appropriately sized Star Wars figures for the age.
Oh, well, that's cool. Well, yeah. Welcome to everyone listening. Welcome to you, Zach, my co-host, me, Mike, the also co-host, because we're both co-hosts. That's how co-hosting works. We, of course, are joined by people in our Patreon who are listening to us and watching us. And if you want to be one of those people, you can join our Patreon and you can watch us while we talk. And you can see how empty my room looks right now because this is the last episode. This is the big switch. This is the last episode we're recording before I'm no longer a California resident. So big feelings.
That's crazy.
Yeah, big feelings.
Yeah, so you're making the move all the way over to Illinois, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So who would have thought back during episode 1, by episode 100, you would literally move across the country?
No, that's crazy when you think about it.
It's
by
actually,
episode 100. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? You moved across the country before we got a new Anakin, and I've been asking for one since episode 1. And
I love that way to think about it. That's great.
That's lately everything, anything that comes out, I compare it to how do we get a Darth Vader hot toy with the full operation table before a new Black Series Anakin?
I bought a house before we got a new Black Series Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I'm going to pay off my student loans and my mortgage by the time we get one, but we know one's coming soon. We know one's coming soon, so that'll end soon.
In theory, we'll see.
Unless they absolutely destroy the likeness on it or something, and then it's a whole new cycle.
He's gonna have those 2014 legs. You know he is.
Oh, God.
Anyways,
don't put that in the universe.
I'm sorry. If that happens, you can 100% blame me. But we are, of course, joined by our special guest because he's a nice guy. He's probably the nicest guy in all of toy collecting. I don't know anyone that has anything bad to say about him. And he agreed to join us because there's literally nothing else to talk about Black Series related. We do, of course, have some topics, but please join us on stage and thank you for being here, Robo, for a second appearance.
What's happening? That's quite the intro. We have nothing else to do.
You are. So, sometimes it's good to just get a guest because there's nothing else going on.
Yeah, it's a hangout.
Yeah, I told Zach. Zach messaged me earlier today, and he's like, "Oh, what should we talk about?" I'm like, "Robo's here. We could just talk about toys. Robo can just talk, and that's great."
Yeah, I like going in with no plan, no itinerary, no nothing.
Well,
No.
I'm responsible for putting together the show notes for the podcast, and I'm like scraping the bottom of the barrel trying to come up with Black Series stuff to talk about. You know, I didn't want to do like this big, like, oh, our top 10 this, top 5 that, like list type thing with a guest, because you wouldn't have any time to prepare. And so literally, like, whenever we get to the news segment, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Whenever it comes to that, we're going to talk about some other figure lines a little bit, and then we'll get into ICCCon stuff, of course. But Robo, I'll give you a better intro, more fitting for someone of your stature.
I'm better intro than what I gave.
Yeah, we have
my intro was flawless. Thank you.
We have action figure royalty.
That's true.
Joining
true.
Now I don't know about all that. I just
who somehow survived being in the backseat of my car following Mr. Coffee on the way to dinner at 90 plus miles an hour.
But your car is so nice that I wouldn't have known it was over 90 miles an hour if I hadn't looked up at the speedometer.
He did just get a new car, and it sounds like it's a smooth ride.
How do you think I felt when I got a speeding ticket when I was on the way back from Wilbon's house from a con we went to? Like, that thing flies. Like, I touched the pedal and
you just didn't know you were going that fast. The officer was like, "Do you know how fast you were going?" You're like, "No,
nope,
I have no idea."
And then you try to argue. There is no way I was going that fast.
I was gonna argue with the officer a little bit, but he got me doing 84 and a 70 at like 9 a.m. when nobody else on the road on like Sunday, which is annoying. But I was doing 87, so
he took three miles out. All right.
But I did hit the brakes when I saw the cop sitting there. So
that takes it out of reckless driving territory.
Yeah. That's the difference in a ticket and jail time. So
yeah.
Yeah, but apparently Virginia has some crazy. I wish Wilbon were in the chat because he could tell me, but. Apparently Virginia has some crazy driving law where anything over like 15 miles an hour or something, they can get you for reckless or anything over 80 or whatever it is. So luckily, and also I knew I had no chance being in out of state because that's just straight revenue for the, for the state, for that county.
100%
from Kentucky.
You were just dollar signs. That cop just saw dollars. Like his eyes comically changed to dollar signs right there.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Plus, at that point, you're just like, I did it. I
just did it. Yeah, I was going fast.
What am I going to do? What am I going to argue? That's
also
it's 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. You got to get to church so fast.
Yeah. Also, that cop looked like he was 16 years old, and there had an older officer with him, like he was training. So I knew I was cooked. Like there was no way I was getting out of that one.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't get your car impounded. I'm glad that you didn't kill Robo because who would we be talking to right now? Dead Robo? Yeah.
I would have been dead. Robo would have been dead.
Black Series Cantina kills Robo.
Out of the basement because they were in the car too.
Oh my goodness. That honestly, that's on par with the plane crash that killed Buddy Holly and Richard Valens.
Big Bopper.
And the Big Bopper.
Bro, that would have been like toy 9/11 if.
Oh my goodness. Toy that's awful. You can't say that. Dang. I'll never forget.
Jesus Christ.
And it was Mr. Coffee's
we
fault.
wouldn't have had the excitement of coming back and Nate hanging out of the car.
See?
Oh yeah, that was even better. Mike, have you heard of that story yet?
I haven't heard any story. I just got done telling you that.
All right, so the night before the first night of ICCCon, everybody's drinking pretty heavily. Nate,
of course, that's how it works.
It's a tradition. You remember we went to Raising Cane's last year and Nate couldn't eat a bite of the food?
Yeah, because he was so hungover.
Yep. Well, he got so drunk again the first night, he couldn't eat at Papa Turney's the next night. So it's like a tradition where we have to go somewhere and he's just too queasy enough to eat.
That was second night, right? Because I wasn't there first night.
Second night. Yeah. Second night. Yes. So second night he was stomach wasn't feeling good enough to eat. And then we were on the way. I'm driving on the interstate and Nate's like, I think you're going to have to pull over like the next exit. And I was like, okay, sure. And then he was like, actually, you need to pull over now. And I'm like, onto the side of the highway? He's like, yeah. So I thought he was.
Unless you want a new car full of throw up. Yeah.
I thought he was joking. I legit thought he was joking. And then he's like, he starts doing the, whoa. And I'm like, so I pull over real quick and he's just leaning out of the car. I feel bad for telling the story without it.
And he goes, I threw up in front of Robo. That's all I heard from the back. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine.
So embarrassing. Oh,
It was
you
because
little
me and Justin were
babies.
talking about Waffle House in the back. And
Yeah.
I guess that the thought of Waffle House was just like, oh,
It was too much.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's true. Last year, that was the first time I'd been to Waffle House in a long time. That was one of my favorite parts because we don't have that in
We
California.
didn't get to make it there this year.
No, it sounds like Nate
Unfortunately.
ruined everything.
Robo, did
So
you all talk
the
about that
problem
story
is you didn't have me
on
to-
Lazy Sunday?
You didn't have me to to chug down the rest of the alcohol. So he did.
Exactly. Yeah. Nate took it all.
There was a cool video of me. This is like the coolest thing I've ever done. Was I killed a bottle of whiskey? I just upended it because I'm a professional drinker. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You were-
I was fine
Yeah.
the next day.
We were
little
on
things-
changing your name.
Yeah.
That pain. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't there to just I'll save you, little puppy. I'll save you from the drink. Anyways,
Robo, did you all tell that
coffee
story
was-
on Lazy Sunday?
Did we?
Yeah.
No. I don't think we made it to him. I think we may have said
Oh.
or mentioned something about throwing up, but not what was said or
Oh,
anything.
I feel
like that.
bad now. I'll have to ask Nate before we cut. We might have to
no,
cut the audio.
this
I'll
is
have to ask
making
Nate
no,
about
this
it.
is making
It's
it.
in.
This is making it.
All right.
This is canon.
Robo said
Yeah.
it's in, so it's got to stay.
Yeah,
Behind the music, ICCC
Yeah, exactly.
2025.
exactly. So you guys just ran into each other there and just hung out the rest of the time, or
The was the con in a hotel last time? Because it was all to get. I mean, everybody was.
yeah,
Yeah.
I ran into Wilbon first. I
Yeah.
checked in, turned, and there's Wilbon, and he invited me
Sure.
to dinner because I didn't get there till almost 5 o'clock.
Yeah, you didn't get there till
Like
later
day.
on. Luckily, we walked down from our hotel room. We put stuff up. We went to the lobby to go eat dinner. And then it's like, oh, Robo's going to dinner. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Because you were just in the
Yeah.
lobby waiting.
So I just show up and meet everybody as we're going to dinner.
That
what
was
a
a good
time.
time.
fun.
That sounds
then-
like a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And then Zuboy
that was
talked
the only
his
reason
head off
I
during
went.
dinner, I'm sure.
The only reason you went is to hang out with people, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
just meet
yeah.
people and hang out.
that's why I went last year because I hadn't met any of these guys. I've been hanging out with them for a year or 2 years, and
Yeah.
I've never met them. So I was like, I gotta meet these guys. I gotta finally meet these people I hang out with and talk to all the time.
Where
was
there's
fun.
no lag, there's no nothing. Talking
Exactly.
in person's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it
much
was.
better.
Imagine how I felt. I've been, watching Robo's videos for years at this point.
Oh, did you
know,
fangirl a little bit?
Well, I was driving my car and I just
Yeah.
hear his voice in the back seat and I'm like, that's Robo sitting in my car. This is so weird. I kind of felt nervous, action figure royalty sitting back there.
No, stop.
Listen, this man got upgraded to a presidential suite just for walking in the door for free.
Hey, he puts his action figure clothes on one leg at a time, just like everyone.
That's right.
Robo's
But that-
room
but that
had
was crazy.
2 living rooms, a conference center,
Nice.
a separate bedroom, a kitchen. This was a whole house.
Double doors to walk in. It was
Double
like
doors to walk in. It was crazy.
It's like a high roller situation right there.
So
It was. I didn't know what I was getting into because when I checked in, it was just like, need to check in, and the manager came
Yeah.
over and said something, and he was like, "Okay, big fan. I watch you all the time." I was like, "Oh, thank you." And he said, "Upgrade him to hospitality," and I thought, "Okay, cool."
Sure.
I
Extra.
thought you'd get a couple cans of soda for free.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Like a thing
Nope.
out of the mini bar or something.
Yeah.
Mini bar is not even a thing anymore. Remember that? That was like a thing. I haven't seen a mini bar in forever.
Where did I? Oh man, it's been in the past year, but I cannot remember where it was.
I can't remember the last
don't
time
touch 'em.
that there was a yeah. Why would you? Yeah.
No,
Just bring your own cans and candies. Don't pay $10 for a thing of almonds.
yeah.
But shout out to the manager of that hotel though, because I walked in and he said he was a big fan of Black Series Cantina. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
that's weird.
I really appreciate it. So
That's cool that he's heard of you.
yeah, he had a bunch of I told him you couldn't make it this year, unfortunately, but he had a bunch of Hot Toys and Black Series and 3 3/4 all the classic Vaders hung up on his wall, which was really cool
Dang.
to see in his office. And I really wish, on the way out, I saw him when we were checking out. I really wish I would have gotten his contact info just so I could try to get him on the podcast.
Get him on. I'm sure if you contact that hotel and just be like, let me talk to the manager. Put your best
fan manager.
Put your best Karen like voice on and just be like, I need to talk to the manager. I need to speak to the manager about my experience, and then invite him on.
Well, he said he's a fan of the show, so if you listen to this, DM me.
Email us.
Email us, DM me. We'll get you on. I would really like to talk.
We want to talk about what's it like collecting as a hotel manager? That's what everyone wants to know about.
He also, as Cook says here, he was selling stuff from his office, which was cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I got the G.I. Joe, and I think that's all. It was some G.I. Joe. He had Lowlight and Torpedo.
Oh,
he was selling Black Series, Legends, Joes.
That last day he was dealing with a customer that sounded kind of rowdy. So we never got to stop. And then by the time we did make it back over there, he was gone for lunch.
Oh, that sucks.
So
by the time I saw him, I had 3 bags in my hand, both out of the Basement Boys, had a couple bags in their hands. We were walking out the door and just stopped by and said hi to him real quick or said bye. And then
to give him a hug.
Yeah. But before we get too deep into ICCC, because we're going to cover that a little later in the show, since we don't have any discussion topics, that's going to be the main one. And then also, if you're listening to this in your vehicle or car on the road somewhere, we are going to play the podcast stage audio later on. Of course, we're not going to do it live because we don't want to sit through it again.
Oh no! What if we did and we heckled you and like Robo and I just we just like Mystery Science Theater 3000 while you guys are playing and just like mercilessly making fun of you guys for.
We could do that, but we're going to insert the audio and then we'll come back and
cut that part out, and that'll be Patreon exclusive, and then. All the other normies have to listen to the regular non-mic commentary on it.
Okay, that'll work. We initially wanted Robo to be the 5th chair, but he wasn't anywhere to be found until we started, and then because you walked.
That was Sunday, right?
That was Saturday evening at 5:45 Central. Well, we didn't know there were going to be 5 chairs until we got there, because there's normally 4 mics.
Usually 4, yeah.
And then there was a 5th one. We initially thought it was 3 because we walked by and they didn't have a 4th mic up, I don't think. We got there were 5. So we were like, we need a 5th person, and Robo would be perfect, but you weren't there. And then so we picked Tommy. But then so that ended up working out. Tommy's a good friend. So maybe next year, Robo, if you end up going.
Yeah. I don't even know what I was doing. I was probably talking.
You were talking. He was talking to somebody about toys, because that
talking to a big fan. Yeah, talking to a big fan. But before we get too deep into that, let's jump into fine additions.
Fine addition to my collection.
All right, Mike, I know you said I don't think you probably have anything, so we'll have you go first.
I've been packing toys and getting rid of toys. I did have a fun story though, because I had a bunch of stuff that like people have sent me or stuff I've bought and just like never got around to opening, like Transformers, some Power Rangers Lightning collection, like stuff from like 2016, 17, 18, like Transformers and whatnot. And my wife is a teacher and she has teacher friends. They have little kids. So literally I just put them in a box and we went to a little barbecue at their house on Memorial Day. And I just gave these, like, one is like maybe 6. The other is like 2 or 3. And I'm like, here's just a giant box of toys. Like, you guys knock yourselves out. And they were just over the moon. They were ecstatic. It was like, oh yeah, this is what it's like to like just like toys, like
yeah.
They're not like, well, this one doesn't have a very good likeness. This one, the range of motion on the arm isn't as much as I want it to be. They're just like, can you turn this one into a car? I'm like, yeah, I can show you how to turn that into a car. Yeah, that's it. That's the picture. They were so excited just to play with toys, and it was fun.
That's awesome.
It was fun just being there, hanging out with them while they did that.
I got to crack them open and everything, huh?
Yeah, we did. It was like,
nice.
This has literally been sitting in my closet since like 20. Like one was like from one of the like the Age of Extinction Transformers movie from like, was that 2017 or something? And I'm like, this has literally been in my closet for almost like 10 years. Like, I'm glad someone's opening it, because like nobody cares about this thing. But yeah, I had a lot of fun just playing with toys with a bunch of little kids. But that's my fine edition because I didn't really buy anything because I'm again moving.
All right, Robo, we'll have you go next if you have any fine editions. I know you bought a couple of things at the con, but
yeah, actually, I still have it right.
Let's do it.
Oh, perfect.
This is what I got.
Got a big old bin of stuff.
Yo, just a bin of extras. Look, there's a Dengar and Obi-Wan and Bib and...
Is that a headless stormtrooper?
Yeah, and then there's all kinds of parts and pieces.
That's good stuff.
Just random parts.
Did you just buy the entire bin and just leave with the bin? Because it says the $5.
Well, yeah. Coffee and Justin and Wilbon had $5 figures, and I was just like, okay, I get however many.
Mm-hmm. But you have the sticker. You have the $5 like.
He bought the bin.
You just literally took the bin.
Well, the thing about it, Coffee wanted the bin back, and Sunday, I think we were heading out. He came down to get his hot toys.
I don't think he had room.
No. I was like, I'm taking this bin because it's full of. Where am I going to put these figures? Just dump them in the truck. But
no, I'm pretty sure Robo pulled the. Don't you know who I am?
That's right.
Yeah.
Give me that bin.
You're gonna
give me that bin, you nerd.
And then eBay today, I got an old Magneto figure, and
nice.
That's been not a lot of new stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been kind of a desert of releases last, I feel like, couple weeks.
All right, now let me cook on my fine editions. I put a picture up of my haul, and Lane Speeder Luke said it might have been the greatest haul he had ever seen at one time.
Well, that's true. He did say that.
First up, this is just, I got this the other day. The Spider-Man 3.
You got that Bully Maguire.
The Bully Maguire Spider-Man with the Venom. I really love it. Even though I feel like
that's my problem.
His head just looks so big on this body, but, whatever. Oh. It's still really cool.
I got dirt in my eye.
Uh-oh.
Get it?
No, that figure looks so much better with the unmasked head. It's goo coming up.
I just think like this piece, this like Venom head coming up, like it's so unique compared to like everything else I have on my shelf. So it really stands out whenever you put it like this. And I noticed on the box, let me grab it. I guess the prototype of this figure, if you see like the part that comes up against his face, it's black tipped, right?
Yeah.
See that? And then on the figure, it's white tipped, like it's actual like teeth coming out.
Teeth. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so little change there. And I don't know what other changes they might have made, because some of the other ones on the box are white tipped, and yeah, they're white tipped here too. So maybe they just that was just a different one. All right, so now we can start getting into all of my ICCC con pickups. And similar to Robo, it's just a bunch of like $5 figures because, there were some great deals. I'll try to go through them very quickly.
Like vultures picking through the remains of other people's collections.
Dude, you should have seen some of the people like just buying boxes of these figures.
I will say, when we went last year, like the room sales after the con was my favorite part of the con. That's like my favorite part of the con wasn't the con. It was everything con adjacent.
Every time. This year too. Like even more than last year, because the con was, we'll talk about that later. But 2 pit droids for $5.
That's a good deal.
I got the
steal of a deal.
I got the soft goods armorer just for the accessories. Great. Yeah, for only $5. And I got it came complete, all the accessories, the Mando helmets laying in here somewhere. I don't care about the soft goods on this one. I just wanted the accessories, really.
Yeah. I went through all my bins and threw out all the boxes for the figures, but I had to open every box to make sure I got all of their accessories.
All the accessories, yeah.
Because like I would just leave accessories in the boxes because I'm like, I'm never going to use this. This is going to sit there. And I thought it was safekeeping, but I almost threw them all out. So I'm glad. And it was that specifically was the figure where I was like, oh man, I almost threw out like all of her accessories because
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, because the Mando helmet's one of the cool.
the Mando helmet's cool. Exactly.
The
Yeah.
translucent piece.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mando, I got the Walmart exclusive Night Owl for
That's a good one.
$5.
Yep.
So yeah, for $5, right? And then one of the latest Cassian Andors, which is that look from Rogue One, the opening,
Yep.
for just $5. Can't beat
Still
it.
need to grab that.
You could have got it for $5, but
No.
I beat you to it. This one is crazy. This is the Veal's Toy Store Neo, which I already have, but for $5, Mr. Coffee from M&F added the shoulder piece, and he weathered it up himself, which I'll try to get that to focus for the people watching. There's weathering all over it, so it actually looks like
You have a customized,
Neo
better
shirt.
version for less than the cost of the original.
for less than what I paid. Yeah. So I got a SH Figure Arts Crate Luke for $10 from Wilbon.
That's a
And
great.
yeah, and
buy.
since we don't have it in Black Series yet, and I have him holding this custom Grimace Shake gifted to me by Commander Cook. So shout out Commander Cook for that. And then, so this is where it gets a little weird. Because, you know, a bunch of beers deep, and I find this figure in the bin. We got Zuckuss, the normal Zuckuss. And I've been displaying on my 3D print of the Bounty Hunters for Empire Strikes Back the anniversary throwback Zuckuss. And everybody's been, every time, like, Out of the Basement Boys show
do
up
tease
for
you about
ICCC
it. Yeah,
Con
it's true.
last year,
Yeah.
Mike, they were like, why do you got the anniversary version?
Yeah, get the
and not
real
normal
version,
one?"
man. That's not even Zuckuss. That's technically Forlom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then, so I grabbed these two figures together, and after a bunch of beers, I'm like, oh, Forlom and Zuckuss for $5 each? Hell yeah, I'm taking both of them. And then I realized that this is one Jack because
That's Forlom at home. We have Forlom
yeah, we
at
got
home.
Forlom at home. So, but for $5, like, you
Yeah,
still
that's a
can't
good
beat
deal.
It.
Yeah.
That's a
Heck,
hell
I
of a
bought
deal.
Forlom. I bought one Jack at the con last year because Chris Bartlett was there,
Yeah, and had him.
and I was like, I wanted him to sign something, and he was really cool. We should have him on some point. In fact, let's have him on now. I'll contact him. Robo, get out of
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
Ain't got nothing going on. Scraping bottom.
That's right.
From Justin, I got this NECA Leatherface for $10.
Nice.
I've kind of wanted to slowly expand my horror figures. I literally still only have the Michael Myers. I'm still looking for the Nun and Annabelle. Those are the two I really want. But for $10, I know they just released a newer one, but for $10, like, you can't beat this. Like, this is, for me as a casual, that's perfect. I remember I grabbed this figure and I said, everything is $5, and Wilbon said, yep. And I said, what about the archive Anakin that you can sell for like $50 if you wanted to? He looked at me in the eye and said $5 and laughed. And I said, deal, I'll take it for $5. I mean, why not? And I told him, I said, I'm just going to post this on eBay. He was like, do it. I don't care. So thanks, Wilbon. Thanks, Wilbon, for the profit. I'll buy you a beer next time I see you. I think that's it for all the loose stuff. But then Hunter had a really good deal. He was getting rid of the Hot Wheels ships. So I picked up Obi-Wan and Anakin's Jedi Interceptors from episode 3 for $5 a piece. That's such as desk piece, I think they're perfect.
Remember, you
And
can
it's
get a
just-
foot long for $5.
Yeah, the good old days.
$5 used to buy a lot.
I know. Well, now apparently it does now at ICCC.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But
Marvel Legend got the store.
Right.
yeah. And just a big improvement over this Micro Galaxy one. Just the Hot Wheels version's like metal, and I know they're I think they're slightly smaller, but so this one I'll probably just be getting rid of. And then from Hunter, 212 Hunter on Instagram, by the way, for those listening. I also got this Millennium Falcon Hot Wheels, and it's like pretty heavy, and it's just such a beautiful
Weird.
deck piece.
There's 0 wheels on that figure.
I know, yeah, literally 0. Maybe this can count as a wheel if it twists. I mean, it turns. There's like a joint in there, so for the radar dish. So maybe that's why it's a hot wheel.
Hot clusters.
So that's it for loose stuff. Now I can go through the box stuff I got from the room sale. I picked up one of my favorite toys as a kid, which is the Anakin changes to Darth Vader. It's in really good condition. Like, the card is super clean, and that was only $10. The guy wanted $12 for it. But ICCCon's the place where I never buy something unless, like, I try to offer like $10 less or $5 less or something. If you have cash, they usually accept it. Shout out to Commander Cook because he hooked me up with the Revenge of the Sith Commander Cody. Before I found it in store, he came across them, so he was able to pick me out a nice crispy one and an extra one to open. So shout out Commander Cook, appreciate that. 212th Hunter again, another great deal on a Black Series figure. I already have the Darth Maul and Bloodfin, but he only wanted $30 for it. And for $30, I want a second one to open because you see I had mine right up here. But for $30 to open a second one, like, that's, how can I pass that up? Let's see. So Mr. Coffee, I've realized there's nothing better than your friends getting out of something you still collect, because they just
True.
Like, that's something I've had a realization of that lately, because that means they were literally getting rid of stuff. Well, I bought this before the con to pick up at the con, but they're literally like, I got 2 more SHF Stormtroopers for $40 a piece, which is insane, because if you buy these on AmiAmi or wherever, you're going to pay probably $128 after shipping. But for $80 and for $15 more than a Black Series would be, I think that was well worth it. So, and I think he had them listed on there for a couple of days, and nobody swooped in. Nobody grabbed them, so I swooped in and stole them. And I got the... So this is the figure everybody gawks over. This is the Mafex Boba Fett. So I figured I'd finally give it a shot. I think I got it for $40, since Coffee was getting rid of it for pretty cheap. I messed with this in the Meeting of the Minds picture in Robo's conference room, hotel room, office area. And it looks fantastic. Like, it's, and for $40, like, I think it's well worth it. So if anybody can find it for a good deal. And I think there's rumors we're going to be getting a new Black Series one. I'm not sure if that's on...
There's rumors.
There's rumors. So I'll probably pick that one up too, just to see, which one's better, and probably still display both of them because I need one for over here. But it's cool to have that one because everybody gawks over that figure. And then I can't remember how much Coffee sold me this one for. I think it was 35 or 40. But I did get another Mafex Sand Trooper because of how good it is. God. And I wanted a second one for the 3D print area. So I absolutely love this figure. Whenever I got the first one, it was so good. I just had to. It's like 35 or 40 bucks. Like, how do you say no to that with that good of a figure? And then, so one of my bigger ICCCon pickups, I got the Order 66 pack, which is an absolute grail in the Black Series, with me being such a big Order 66 Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith fan, and I'm a big fan of this movie.
That's such a weird thing for people to be, like, fans of. Like, it's like... There's like this terrible moment. It's objectively terrible moment in Star Wars where all like the good guys essentially are losing the most you can ever lose. And there are people that are like, yeah, that's my favorite part of Star Wars.
Well, it's like it's probably the biggest event outside of like Darth Vader turning back.
It's Jedi 9/11 is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what what's your favorite point in American history?
Yeah, right. I like it when a bunch of good guys died.
It's a toss-up between the Civil War.
Right.
Well, look, you thought this fine edition was cool. Wait until I got to share my screen now, because here we go. 3, 2, 1. Look at this 3D print. Got the Order 66 3D print.
It does look cool. It does look good.
Right, look at that. But it's not only Order 66. I can do this too.
Is that replacing your Jedi Temple steps?
Oh no. I have 12 501st Archive troops for a reason, Mike.
Right.
Those are I'm not putting those away. It'd be next to it. I just need to buy another Billy bookcase. But it is cool to have the Order 66 pack in hand and in the box, because I just think the look of the clones is so good. But The reason I bought it was really mainly just for the Coruscant guard because he looks so cool. And then they never released any of these other ones other than the 501st, you know, just normally.
Yeah, it is weird how we never got any of the other ones released like normally.
And it's sealed and it was only 125 and in the
That's
moment.
not bad.
Yeah, it was like 125. That's a little bit more than a normal figure per figure, but you know, in the moment at the con, got a bunch of cash in the pocket. It's one of those things where it's like, might as well. But I had a question. I haven't looked it up yet. It just popped in my mind really. Is it supposed to have, whenever I put the sleeve on, this on the outside or this on the outside?
I honestly think it's up to you. I don't know I don't remember how it came.
Yeah, I don't remember because I'd pulled
It's
mine
been
out.
so long. Yeah.
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 Well, the thing about that is,
I was about to tell the funny story, but Robo, I'll let you do it.
well, was it at Buster's? Were we in the parking lot and you opened up your trunk?
We were walking to the car on the way to Buster's, and I was like, "Oh, Robo, let me show you the pickup I got." And I popped my trunk open, and
I honestly had no idea that hard to get or people were looking for it or something. But I've been cleaning out a room. I've been cleaning out a room, trying to get everything out to the shop and make it a bedroom again. And I ran across that box just in a pile of stuff, just sitting in the room.
Oh, not a pile. You didn't say a pile.
In my, well, you know.
So I opened the trunk and the Order 66 pack sitting in there. And Robo looks at it. He's like, "Hey, I just pulled that out of all my junk figure drawer." I'm like, "Oh, damn."
It's because apparently I got it and just took the 501st Trooper out and left the rest and shoved it back into the sleeve, tossed it in a pile, and I'm finding it again after all these years. And I didn't know. So I wasn't saying, you know, like that's junk, or I was just saying, oh,
I don't know.
Honestly, in my opinion, at this point, it's a bunch of really outdated figures that need to be updated. It's basically junk. I almost threw the packaging away, and then I thought, no, I'm sure there's some like schlub out there who will buy
Like
just
That's
the box. Just the box.
Look, those figures, those clones, I stand by the
joking.
1.0 clone because they actually look like they're from the movie.
It's objectively a terrible figure. Objectively.
Yes, articulation isn't great, but if you can get them in a good walking pose, they look great on a 3D print because they look like they're from the movie and not like from the Clone Wars or the Andor live action and the weird mishmash figure that Black Series.
The superior looks, I see. Yeah, you don't like it when they look better than the original. But they weren't 100% CGI from 2005.
Yeah, but I care about what they look like in episode 3 and 2. And
I am just anyone listening to this, I am not being serious. I am 100% just trolling. Like I'm just kidding. Yeah.
The debate is better for the listeners, probably.
It is true. It is true. I just don't want someone to be like, "Oh my god, I feel personally attacked by Mike Case because he doesn't like episode 3 Clone Troopers." Like, I mean, but I come from a different time. People didn't like episode 3.
I did see your face whenever he brought out the Mayfix Sand Trooper, though. Is that a thing? Is that?
I think that looks like from Rebels. Honestly, I don't think it looks that great. But everyone's gawking over how great
and it's
it looks
big.
and stuff.
I never cared for the.
Yeah.
Or the Mayfix Sandy.
Yeah, I have one, but it's just off by itself doing its own thing.
Yeah.
It looks ceramic too.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like a toy to me. Like it just.
Well, my favorite part about it is the paint application of the sand on the armor. How it's on every inch of the white armor of the figure.
Yeah.
You know, and the Black Series one, especially the new one that's coming out. Like the original Black Series one, it looks great, but like you said, Mike, it's just like the 1.0 clone where the articulation's so bad
it's
now.
Worse.
It looks
because those old stormtroopers had the bow leg problem.
Also, their legs are really bad.
They're gummy. Yeah.
But this one, the way it looks and just the way the sand paint deco is applied.
And again,
you get all the
for the cost, I would expect it to.
That's fair. That's fair. But speaking of prequel clones, this is my final pickup.
I was going to say, how many more pickups did you get? Oh, I see.
I got this in the mail today. This is my Hot Toy Coruscant Guard. And I'm absolutely in love with.
I always thought it was so weird he came with a staff because I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I think it might have been Clone Wars. Maybe I don't.
I've seen Clone Wars a bunch. I don't remember them ever having staffs. Staves?
I don't either. And for some reason, like on both pictures, like even this
they're like, side, look at his full staff. Yeah, that's just not what I think about when I think Clone Trooper. Is like, give him a cool staff.
Yeah, same. But he's going to have the blaster on my shelf. And I actually got an incredible deal on this. I was actually talking to one of our listeners about maybe buying his for like $220 or something. And most of them go for about $220. But then there was one on eBay. And then it had just been listed like literally an hour before I saw it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make an offer. I offered $190 and they accepted it literally within like 15 seconds of me doing the offer.
Oh, dang.
So
they were hungry. They were thirsty for that money. They had to get rid of that.
Yeah. They were literally like, I'll take the cash no matter how little I get for it. But for $190, like this is absolutely crazy.
Commander Cook says that they had staffs when they were escorting Maul in season 7. And that's probably true, honestly. Of all of Clone Wars, that's probably the one I've seen the least of, even though it's probably one of the better arcs of Clone Wars.
That makes sense. But I do think, even though it goes for around $220 or so now, I kind of expect it to probably increase in price with the Sidious releasing next year, because this will be one of the figures that matches it.
And that's going to go in your fancy new display case?
Yes, I don't have the light on, but I should have the light on for the podcast. This is only my second episode having it, but it'll go in here with all of my episode 3. If you don't look at this Vader, my Revenge of the Sith hot toy collection.
Darth Vader was in episode 3. Looking like that.
But this is the Kenobi version. So
sure.
But I have a plan. I'm getting the episode 3 version with the table, and then this one's just going to be a normal Vader. And then I'm getting the really battle damaged one that's not from episode 3, but you know, it's cool, so I have to add it. But other than that, I'm not doing anything out of episode 3.
Don't you have to get rid of all your Black Series before getting too much into
That's
hot toys?
True. That's a rule. That's a rule.
That's how I understand it.
Yeah, everyone when you get into
that's what everybody else is doing.
You have to sell all of your Black Series to put that towards, and you sell them for $5 a piece, and like before you know it, you've got hot toy.
Not me. I still have the 6-inch bug. Yeah. So I still really love. I think my favorite thing about 6-inch is honestly 3D printing for them and building. I still enjoy building the armies. I know a lot of people have kind of fallen out of building the Black Series armies, but I still enjoy building the Black Series armies, and then, you know, building the factions. Like I have the Rebel Alliance here, and like the Rebels and Andor stuff kind of mixed in on that shelf, and Separatists and Jedi and pretty cool heroes. So I'm not at a 6-inch. I don't think I'll ever stop collecting 6-inch. It's just like where my heart is. And a good Black Series figure still slaps. Value, you know, for what you get, articulation.
Yeah.
You know, 3D, especially with 3D printing, like that's also, that might have, I feel like it's dramatic to say it saved 6-inch, but I don't think it saved like my love for 6-inch.
For sure.
It enhanced like my passion for like the collection, I think. And because it feels like I'm actually contributing to something. Even though Luke, you know, designs the files, like printing them still feels like I'm contributing in a way. So
sure, you're making something that didn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you got the recipe from someone else, like doesn't mean.
And it's a unique item. Like there's not a lot of people who have this stuff, so a pretty niche subject. But so that's it for fine editions. I know probably a longer one that I've had. Oh, I forgot one.
Oh my god.
I got make me big. One more.
No, you can make yourself big.
Make me big. All right, Mike, you're gonna really love this one. I never bought this because I still don't think it looks like Hayden, so I refused to buy it for what it would have. I think it was maybe 90 shipped whenever or something. I can't remember, but I remember seeing it at the Virginia Con.
Being preamble and just show us what it is.
No, I can't. God. You got to guess.
I know what it is. It's Anakin Skywalker, SH Figure Arts, the new one.
The new SHF.
Yeah,
Anakin.
I love that you have the hood up and it's covering most of his face.
Yeah, I still don't think either of the three faces look like Hayden, but I got it for $50, and that was too good to pass up.
That's a good price. That's a good price.
Yeah, it's a great price for it, especially with all the alternate hands, the alternate blades and stuff. And plus, it's probably going to be on a 3D print like this anyway, so I really just need the body and like the alternate hands for the force effects and all that. So
he's got a 3D printed youngling.
Yeah, that's what Jackie's for.
I like the smiling face, or the kind of grinning face. That's how I have mine standing on the shelf.
True.
That Ahsoka look.
Yeah.
Did he come with a red lightsaber too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's technically an Ahsoka release.
Yeah.
It has the alternate, both blades there, and then the swoosh blades.
Yeah, that's a good release. I saw that at. I went to Frankenstein last weekend, and I almost bought it there.
Wilbon was trying to get me to buy it at the Virginia Con for like $100. So I was like, I can't do it. Like, I just don't think it looks enough like Hayden to pay $100 for it. But then Coffee gave it to me for $50. So
you can't beat that.
Yeah, you can't beat $50
unless someone does it for less, and then you can beat it.
That's true. But also helping out a friend, I'm willing to,
I'm helping you out by underpaying you for your toys.
Now go buy your hot toys.
That's right. That's a third of a hot toy right there. Like a fourth of a hot toy.
One hot toy payment on me.
Actually, it's a fifth of a hot toy, depending. It really depends on the hot toy.
I mean, these days.
Yeah.
And not the hot toys he bought that weekend.
Oh, that's true. It's probably a sixth of a hot toy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He bought the Sideshow Jabba the Hutt with the dais.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I mean, that thing goes for
that's like an 18th of a hot toy.
Yeah. I think you probably can't buy that online for less than $700-800, and he got it for $475, I think, right? And then Hunter and Tommy pitched in $100 each, so he only paid $275, I think. So
what a group of friends we have. We're like, have like, oh, you want to buy that? Let me give you $100 so you can help. I can help you buy that. Mm-hmm. Nate just got. You had a TVC HasLab.
No, I didn't.
Jabba's sail barge in your house. In the house that I stayed in, I've been tainted now, transitively, because of that. No. But like even then, like people helped him out buying it. Like it's kind of cool that we have this community. Bucks. Yeah. We have a community of enablers. Thank you, Esteban. Absolutely. A community of enablers. Let me help you with this addiction that you have.
Yeah, it's funny because Wilbon bought the Sideshow Moma Naden for like $350 or something. It goes for a really crazy amount more than that. And he was like, where was everybody standing whenever I was buying that? Because everybody gave Zoo Boy like $20 whenever he bought the Shadow Squadron set. And he didn't even really want it. It was just too good a video to pass up after people gave him money for it. And then Wilbon's like, where was everybody at? So I
where was everyone last year when we were going to buy the Chewbacca prototype figure?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And Coffee got the speeder bike too with the
and he got the Scout and Speeder.
Oh, I got that. I do have that. I love that.
Yeah, Coffee spent some money on some Hot Toys this con, but I think he sold every single one of his Black Series figures too. So
that's crazy. Yeah.
That
is out. Like you're out at that point. That's like me and G.I. Joe. I just did that.
Yeah, I think he's also getting rid of. I think he's also getting rid of most of his import, like the 6-inch import stuff. So,
all right. I mean, people. I think that's the fun thing about collecting is like. You can get as much out of it as you want, and then if you want to get into something else, like you still kind of have a way to like recoup that money and put it towards something that you like better. Mm-hmm. Like it's kind of,
or you just fill your tubs up until,
or that
you run out of space.
Well, then I've just been dealing with that where I've literally got 10-15 years worth of toys in tubs in my garage.
Yeah,
that I took to. Like collector shops down in San Diego and like a flea market where I had all my Marvel Legends in a tub, Transformers from 10-15 years ago, just like the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. And this guy's like, I'll give you $400 for all 4 of those tubs. And I was like, done. Like, get them out of here. Yeah.
Take the tubs too.
Just take the tubs. Take the tubs too. I'll buy new, $8 tubs at Costco.
Yeah.
But like it was very freeing to just not have that, like knowing that like I'm getting something out of it. Like I could have picked them all out and probably sold them for more, but it's so much work to just be like, you're gonna give me a chunk of money and I don't have to like worry, like think about these anymore. I don't have to pay to move them. I don't have to go through them, but just here, like take them away. And it's been kind of
plus
nice.
If it were me having to go through a tub, if you go through singles, it's like, okay, this one could go for this. Oh, I remember this one. This one.
Yeah, you have a story. Yeah. Like, do I really want to sell this? I actually really liked it. Yeah. There were a couple things in there I know. Like, I didn't really want to get rid of like my Marvel Legends, Fantastic Four, and Doctor Doom and stuff. But like, I know my problem is I have a real hard time just collecting like one thing. Like if I get one thing, I have to get something to go with that one thing. And if I get something else to go with that one thing, and then, before I know it, I'm back into it. I'm back all in. And it's tough.
Yeah. I told people, I said, save your giving me money to buy something for whenever Sideshow releases the episode 3 Anakin Starfighter, because it'll be like $2,000. So everybody save up your money, and then that's when you can all donate to the fund for it to help me.
We'll have a GoFundMe for you.
Yeah, we'll have like a fundraising podcast or something. We'll go live and
we'll sell shirtless pictures of Zach.
Hey, there's sellers out there.
Does Sideshow really have a plan for Starfighter?
Have you seen that prototype that they put on at a con a long time ago? It's probably never going to happen, but I think their picture on Sideshow of it has said coming soon for a long time.
Oh, because they did a Falcon for one show, didn't they?
They teased it. I don't think it ever actually came out. But
but they had a display model.
They made one. They had a display on it. Yes, absolutely.
Because Bandai did a 6-inch Vader tie for a show, and just nothing.
Well, I feel like Bandai does that all the time. I feel like there's been so many figures where they'll show it, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and then it never comes out.
All right, so I have this pulled up. I'll share the screen, but I'm sure this article says where they showed it. I think this was a couple of years ago now at this point, but let's see. But yeah, that's a hot toy Anakin and R2.
Esteban says it was from Winterfest in 2018.
So that's probably never going to happen. But if it does, if it does, and it
looks good. It looks real good.
Yeah.
But also, where am I putting this thing? Where are the funds coming from? So that's when the boys need to have my back. I don't want a dime from them until this happens, and then we can talk.
I'll give you a cool $20 bill, a crispest $20 bill I can.
If everybody I know in the toy community gives me $20 for this, I still can't afford it. So I appreciate it. But I'll take it. All right, let's move on from fine editions. We got to get into listener emails. But before we do, let's plug our new shop just really fast. We have a relatively new store. So if you want some Black Series Cantina merch, head to blackseriescantina.myspreadshop.com and get yourself some of the classic Black Series Cantina logo with Figure and Dan right there, or the episode 3 anniversary merch that we have. But yeah, that's it. So let's get into listener emails. First up, we have Mark. He says, one thing that grinds my gears when fans ask, why is Lando wearing Han's clothes at the end of Empire Strikes Back? He's not. It's not like Han was naked when they froze him in carbonite. Okay, discuss. The Colonel.
Well, first of all, strong feelings. Second of all, they're friends, and Lando left Bespin with like no clothes other than the clothes he was wearing. So he probably did raid Han Solo's closet, because like Han Solo's not going to need those clothes anymore. We know there was closets, right? He was digging through because Han took off with all his capes in the first place, right? Oh yeah. Let's talk about that. Han stole all of Lando's clothes, all of them.
The first time around.
The first time around.
I do think it is a weird decision to put him in the clothes in the first place? Like, who made the decision to have?
I think it's a weird, smart detail.
What's smart about it? I just feel like.
What do you think he's gonna? You think he's gonna go to the Rebel clothes store? Like or everyone else has got to change of clothes.
Just put him in his normal outfit.
You think the thought was, in order to pilot the Falcon, you have to have a certain uniform?
This is my Han Solo outfit. It gives me +4 to piloting the Millennium Falcon. Yeah.
It's like a skin.
Gear.
Yeah.
But
that's what it is.
All right, next email. Next email from Stan. Stan says, hello once again. I suppose it's my turn to keep the email segment going at full steam. So with SDCC coming up, what would you two want to have as the SDCC exclusive? And since you are about to say Obi-Wan and Anakin, let's say for argument's sake, they've already been announced and you have to pick something different. Okay. Cheers, Darth Platypus.
Sure.
If I can't pick Anakin and Obi-Wan for an SDCC exclusive, give me, like Queen Amidala or something. I don't know, but
I would want from the game Outlaws. I would want a K, a Nyx, and a Speeder, like a little pack that has all three of those.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh man, I don't know what I'd want. My first thought was they've run their Grievous into the line or into the ground.
Yeah.
Figuarts is releasing theirs now.
Yeah.
It feels like they want to, hey, wait, don't spend money over there. Come back. So
look at our new Grievous. Yeah, that's bigger.
There you go.
And better.
And better. Well, I would hope it's better.
Yeah, I would hope, but I hope that the first time around.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh.
All right,
I want a Bantha.
A Bantha, a Black Series Bantha would be good.
I think a Black Series Bantha would be really fun.
And it feels like it could just be a shell or with hair on it, and a mouth.
Sure.
Yeah, like a mouth move. Yeah. Like you can do the mouth up and down gimmick. How you want to make it a toy and all that.
I wouldn't even care about the leg. It'd be under the hair. Just
You want soft fur? You want hard plastic for your Bantha?
Oh, yeah. I feel like you have to.
You want the artisan edition Bantha?
You have to. I feel like plastic wouldn't look, at that scale. Right. I feel like it wouldn't look that good.
Too much. And they just did a Bantha with hair, right? With real hair.
Yeah, the TVC. Yeah.
Yeah. Just blow that up.
Just take that and blow it up. Absolutely. Yeah.
Next question comes from RJ Baresh. Hey guys, this is a question for all parties involved. What is one figure that you don't really want Hasbro to make, but if they did, you'd probably buy it? My example, the holiday special Chewbacca. It's not on my radar or even remotely close to any wish list of mine, but if Hasbro announced a red-robed Life Day Chewbacca, odds are I'd be pre-ordering it. Anyway, enjoy thinking about this and keep making the drive to work entertaining. That's a great question.
It is a great question.
So, like, a figure not on my radar at all that I would buy for sure. Honestly, probably, because I know, I'll say this for the Out of the Basement boys, because their number one all the time is Max Rebo. That's who they campaign for. So I'll probably go like Max Rebo. He's never anywhere close on my list. I don't think about him in Black Series. I don't think they'll ever do it. But if they did one, I'd be one of the first people to pre-order it because he would look great, like on the shelf.
I've looked so many times at 3D printing or picking up prints of the band just because I want them that much. Mm-hmm. But I'd much rather. Yeah, I'm gonna jump in because
go ahead.
Not because he said holiday special, but my mom was just talking about this last weekend and it sparked a memory. But in the same vein as the holiday special, there was a Donnie and Marie skit with Chris Christopherson. For some reason, that just shoves in my brain every now and then. And if they did alternate heads for Luke, Leia, and Han, I would probably
be in on that.
In that same vein, Luke Skywalker in that crazy glitter suit that he wore on that German variety show with like the wings under his arms and stuff. I mean, there's so many figures. If you go crazy like that, like I could just you could have a list of things from the holiday special, and just throw a dart at it, and it would be on that list because like that's literally the whole entirety of the holiday special. Like I don't want it, but it's so crazy that if they make it, yes, I'm gonna buy it. Like if they give us like an Itchy or a Lumpy, like yeah, I'm gonna buy Itchy and Lumpy. Like of course I'm gonna. Or the what's your name? B. Arthur, figure for like
just for it being B. Arthur, you gotta get it.
You gotta get a B. Arthur. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like there's so many things like that where if they went nuts, if they went crazy and just went off the wall, like yeah, I'm gonna buy it, of course, because it's ridiculous, and I want to support Hasbro in making ridiculous choices like that because I think that's more interesting than like, ooh, we need this specific Luke Skywalker from this specific scene in this movie. Like that's so boring. Like, of course you do. Of course we need that. Of course we're gonna get it. But like, give us the wild and wacky characters and looks. That's what I love about Star Wars. I love the background characters where it's like blink and you'll miss them, cantina aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Esteban says all the pod racer pilots.
Sure. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Dots Ralter. Like, I'm not even talking about, like, you can put your Sebulba out. Sure. I love that figure. Got an Anakin, but where's Ben Quadraneros? Like,
yeah.
Or the Greg Proops announcer. Or
yes.
What's his name?
Bowden Feed or whatever.
Yeah.
Bowden Bead. Whatever his name is. Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
He's not even trying to disguise his voice. It's just there's proofs.
Last email we got comes from Joby1 Kenobi. What's good, fam? First off, Zach, I hope you had a blast at ICCC, which I absolutely did, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. I've seen a lot of great footage from all the channels in the greater Black Series family, and it was genuinely heartwarming. Also, much love and safe travels to Mike, his wife, and pets on your journey to your new home.
Thank you.
May the Force guide your new adventure. Now, I have a Black Series question for you guys. So far this year, what have been your favorite 3 figures released up to this point and why? Bonus points if you also list your 3 least favorite. This isn't a definitive list. This is just you guys verbally responding to a crazy old hermit's email, so no pressure. Thanks for taking my questions. Much love, and as always, may the Force be with you. So 3 favorite releases this year. I think the
Savage oppressed 3 times.
Savage, the exclusive Ronin, it looks really, really awesome. Because of the wired cape and all the crazy poses I've seen, like Tommy and Nate like get the figure into. I'm trying to think of a third favorite.
Sebulba, you just mentioned.
Sebulba.
That's high on my list.
Sebulba.
Yeah, Sebulba, Savage, Ronin. Yeah.
And Shot T is...
There's a lot of good ones, and I haven't opened most of them, which feels weird, honestly.
Yeah, waiting for the move. You got to do like a big live stream. Like
I'm going to
unbox everything.
100%. I'm going to do a live stream and just kind of unbox stuff. First of all, I have to get them on the channel so I can write them off for tax purposes.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I have to.
Yeah, Shock T and Luminar are really great. Yeah. I think Shock T is head and shoulders better, in my opinion, but Luminar still looks really good on the shelf too. Yeah, and the Sebulba figure, that I might like that one better than Savage. Being honest.
Wow, Sebulba, huh?
I do. I just really love the Sebulba figure. Even though, like most of the releases I've seen, they do have that QC issue on one of the eyes. I think it's his right eye or left eye. I can't remember which eye, but a lot of them aren't painted, which is weird.
Oh, that is weird. I haven't even looked at mine, and obviously I'm going to look at it now.
Yeah, and it sucks because I'm pretty sure it's the eye on the far side of the box.
So you can't see it. Yeah,
you can't see it.
That sucks.
Where most people says the QC issue. So
unlike Plo Koon, where you can see his droopy eye right in the package.
It's right there, front and center.
Yep. All right, that's it for listener emails. Now let's jump into some news a little bit. We have literally scraping the bottom of the barrel for some news and chat.
And I barely want to talk about it.
Yeah, I know. We're just going to mention it real quick because I feel like we've been talking about tariffs and prices every episode for so long. But prices are apparently back to the normal $24.99 for now.
Here's the thing, like Hasbro never changed the prices. So
yeah,
it's not
Amazon
like,
and
everyone's like, oh, they brought them back down, or they're not going to bring them back. Like Hasbro never raised the prices of figures.
They pulled the pre-orders down.
They pulled the pre-orders.
They pulled pre-orders down, and they were going to 100%. But
they were waiting.
But the thing is, they didn't. Like they didn't do it, and so it's nice that we don't have to worry about like, oh, they're not going to bring them back down if they raised them. Like they never raised them in the first place because it was like right at the very end there. They're just like, you know what? We're just gonna not sell things for a little bit, which is probably the best option. Like, I feel like it worked out the best.
Yeah, so right now Amazon put their prices back to $24.99 for Gale, and I think I saw they actually didn't lower the Clone Wars Anakin, or the one from the Ahsoka show, the Clone Wars. I think that's still $31.99 for some reason, and it's in stock.
Gross.
So that's one that they've missed, I guess.
Ew.
But maybe that's like an Anakin tax on for Amazon now. But
it's like the Boba tax.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man tax.
Yeah.
Speaking of Spider-Man.
Did your Spider-Man get canceled today too, Robo?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. And it seems like I was one of the first one. There was a problem with my payment.
Yeah.
Bull.
Yeah.
Bull. But I reordered today.
Me
they
too.
took the payment out of the exact same account.
Yep. No problem.
And, yeah.
But it actually worked out for me. It's the 1977 Spider-Man. It was a Walmart exclusive that went up during their collector thing. I pre-ordered two, one for me and one for Dan Larson because he was too busy. He couldn't pre-order it. So I had his on pre-order, and then I was really worried because I'm moving, and Walmart famously doesn't let you change anything about an order. So I lucked out that they canceled everyone's orders and made people reorder them because now I could order it with my new address.
To your new address?
To my new address. So it worked out.
That's funny.
But it was really annoying, like waking up to that email being like, "Oh, your Spider-Man's canceled." I was like,
no chance to fix it, nothing. It's just like, hey,
canceled. Yeah,
we had to cancel it.
Oh, you had to. Oh, yeah, you had to.
Damn Walmart. Jumping into our Outer Rim segment, which is news about stuff that's not necessarily Black Series related, but Gentle Giant Diamond, like the Spider-Man. Yeah, Gentle Giant Diamond Select Gonzo.
Gone.
That's totally laid off everybody.
Yeah.
Wiped the company, unfortunately.
I follow Zach Oat on social media, and I remember seeing his post. It was like Saturday night, like late, and he just posted a thing saying like he doesn't work for Diamond Select Toys anymore. And I was like, Zach Oat? Like that, like that's what, like, other than, Toy Fair back in the day, like that's what I know him from. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. So it's just, it's sad. I was just walking through Frank and Son and looking at, they had there was a booth that had a bunch of Gentle Giant, like the oversized retro figures. And they had the Ralph McQuarrie, Luke Skywalker one there. And I'm like, oh, that looks so good. I almost bought it just because of how unique it was, even though I don't collect anything like that. But like, it's so sad when someone that's been in the industry for so long, like they were a staple for decades. Diamond Select Toys, Gentle Giants, decades in the community, and they're just gone now.
Oh, that reminds me. That's quite a bit of, well, I mean, it sucks the people got laid off and everything, but what's that going to do for booth space at San Diego? Because that's two fairly sizable booths.
Absolutely. That's a great question.
Now, Gentle Giant Studios is still a thing.
The studios is still a thing. It's the store or whatever.
Yeah, the manufacturing side.
Yeah. Well, and they got both on Diamond Select and Gentle Giants on their website. It said like, hey, we're pausing things and we're going to come back with some stuff. But like, I know they laid off a bunch of people, so I don't know who's coming back with stuff. Because
did the parent company did NECA's parent company buy it just for the licenses?
That's what it seems like. Yeah.
So whatever product they have sitting, they'll probably just get rid of it to Ollie's or to any bargain bin place that'll take it.
Well, there's a bunch of
Nihilus.
Yeah,
but all the stuff like in production, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there was a bunch of pre-orders for stuff like Diamond Select toys. Like they had Lord of the Rings stuff coming out. Like what is that? Just stuff just vaporware now? It's just gone. Like what's
and the Nihilus had to have been produced. It was supposed to come out a month back, and it got pushed, and then it's in floaty land now.
So are they canceling orders actively yet, or are those just kind
Amazon did? Big Bad hasn't. So I don't know, but that's the only thing I have on pre-order.
Eye out on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be something to keep an eye out on for sure, because that kind of seems like it'd be odd if they just let your pre-order. And I don't know if they like pre-charge. Well, I guess if it's through Big Bad Name, some they don't.
Most
but I don't know if
places
it's
don't
like
pre-charge.
If it's direct from the consumer or the seller, then I don't know.
I would assume if you pre-ordered it from a place that did pre-charge, they would have to refund you.
Yeah.
They don't just like to keep your money and not give you anything.
Sorry.
That sucks for you. Thanks for your $30.
I don't know. What was it? Dorkside Toys and whoever else.
Oh, that's true.
They kind of
they disappeared completely.
That was a whole different issue.
Did you say they got you for some money? Dorkside, or who was it that said Dorkside owes them? I can't remember who it was now. Oh, it might have been Wilbon. I forget exactly who, but somebody said Dorkside owes them like
I think it was
60 something bucks or whatever. But Mike, you wanted to talk about G.I. Joe for a second?
Yeah. So, famously, I sold all my stuff. And then today, randomly, they show off Bushido. Bushido? Was that, didn't they? Budo, thank you, Budo, not Bushido. Budo,
no, sorry,
Budo. No, you're right, 100%. That was. I
was just making sure I had it right because I don't.
No, you're right. No, you're right. Michael don't know. That's how they always say it, right? That's the thing. So honestly, I couldn't think of one G.I. Joe that could get me really kind of back into the line until they showed me a samurai. And I'm like, okay, like the way they did it, where he's got like armor and alternate. I might buy 2 or 3 of these, honestly, just to have an army of samurai. Like, it's not even that they're G.I. Joes. It's just like, I know the quality of the line, and looking at what you can make out of this, like, this is incredible. This looks so good. And I'm so mad that I was like, I was out. I was done with G.I. Joe. I wasn't going to buy any more G.I. Joe. And now I feel like I have to buy more G.I. Joe.
You know what you can do?
It didn't even last a month.
Give him a red lightsaber and have him fight Ronin on your show.
I could. And that's exactly, like, I've got there's the Mythic Legions set that came with, it was last year's Legion Con, where you could kind of make a samurai out of one of them. So I did that because I love the look of a Mythic Legion samurai. I guess I'm a sucker for samurai figures.
What'd that comment say on down?
Oh,
wait. Keep going. Ninja crap. Pass. Give me military stuff. Like, man.
Oh gosh. Oh, so they're not allowed to do one ninja figure, and he also has a militaristic look if you don't have all the samurai armor.
He comes with guns.
Yeah.
Like, he literally comes with body armor and guns.
Yeah, and he's wearing like green pants. Like, he looks like a military guy, and then you can overlay all the samurai stuff on him. Yeah. So it's just
and is that enough? I mean, there's at least 3 or 4 options for different looks here.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is pretty neat.
I feel like Hasbro really outdid themselves with all of this stuff. There's like 2 different helmets you can get here. There's 2 different heads. There's just a bunch of different like armor pieces and stuff you can swap out. It looks incredible, and I'm excited. I'm happy, and I'm a little mad about it all at the same time.
Because you're getting this, right?
Oh, 100%. Like, I wasn't kidding. I might even get 2, honestly.
And then you'll have to have somebody for him to fight.
No.
Yeah.
You're Zach is 100% correct.
Yep.
He's going to be fighting the Ronin, my Black Series Ronin. That's how they're going to get displayed.
But
that works.
So 2 weeks after you sell every single G.I. Joe figure you have in bulk, you're right back in.
I'm right back in. I was like, I'm out.
Now you need to go back to that guy and buy all your figures back.
No, I'm not going to do that. I
Man,
figured if there are some figures that I just like, I really do miss this, I'll just buy those figures. Like, I just kind of wanted to start fresh. Like, it was more of a mental thing than anything. Like, I just wanted to be like, take it all away. And then if I really like, I did really want that, like, I'll just buy that one thing. Like, I might rebuy like Duke or like Scarlet.
Yeah, his way of moving. You don't have to move it. You just
there you go.
That's also how I saw it, because they move by weight. So like the less stuff I have, the better to move. Like the cheaper it is to move. So I'll just rebuy the figures that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So you got rid of your Marvel Legends. Nothing today interests you on any of?
No, we're about to talk about that next.
Oh, okay.
we're about to talk about that next.
Yeah. So Mike, go ahead. Talk about the Marvel Legend reveal that you like.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm excited for Fantastic Four, but I'm probably not going to get any of them. Just like, I'm not really buying MCU stuff, but they look good. But what I am a sucker for is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I had it on Dreamcast. I played it in the arcade. It's half the reason why I collected all the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 figures. And they're like, yeah, we're doing whole new figures that are based specifically on this arcade game look. And I'm in on pretty much everything. There's a 2-pack with Wolverine and Silver Samurai. I love it. What do you think, Robo?
The Wolverine,
I love how beefy he is. I love it. He's so chunky.
The body shape, but I guarantee they're going to do one without the huge mask wings.
His mask is so big. Yeah,
I'm not the video game guy. I think
that's fair.
Was Marvel Superheroes without the cap? Was it the same style without the Capcom characters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I did. My Pizza Hut when I worked there had that up front. So I played quite a bit of that. So that's where I want Shuma Gorath from.
Sure. Yes.
That game.
Yeah.
But yeah, the over stylized. I have the old Silver.
It's
Silver
very
Samurai.
stylized. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't need the bigger armor or anything.
I honestly don't care about Silver Samurai. I'll probably I never played as him. I've never been interested in the character. I'll probably sell that.
Well, keep me on your list.
Okay.
Because I might be interested. Because I started comparing. IGN posted promo pictures of all the new stuff, and I realized, that's a new chest too.
It is a new chest. There are some new pieces on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never really. I mean, and I just said that, saying that I'm a sucker for samurai figures, and now I'm like, I don't really care about samurai.
Not the silver ones.
I don't want my samurai to be silver. I want them to be quasi-military.
No carbonized samurai for you, Mike?
Yeah.
Man.
But no, the new Captain America looks great.
The Venom 2-pack is cool.
The Venom and Captain America both look great. Super excited for that new Psylocke. The Thanos looks good too, but that Psylocke looks
and to lock Psylocke in with a 2-pack with Thanos as a Target exclusive is just come on, man.
Yeah. I'm just seeing both there. I'm like, I don't.
Ninja's not even high on my list, but it's such a good upgrade to the ones we've gotten that
100%.
I'm going to that one, hopefully.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. The one I don't care about is War Machine and Omega Red. I don't really, I'm probably not going to get that one.
I like the new chest and shoulders on War Machine.
Sure.
But he's blue.
Yeah.
I have the 5-pack Omega Red.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I have the original release of Omega Red, and I feel like it's not really that different.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Shuma Gorath, they released so many bendy wire limbs today.
But it's so cool with the blinking eye and the moving. Yeah.
I love that picture. I think Matt took all the pictures of Shooting the Galaxy, but the one he has where it's crossing the tentacles and he looks so sassy. I love that picture.
That's what I used for my featured image for the short. Everywhere I could, it's gonna be.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, guess who's a TikToker now, Mike?
Shooting the Galaxy.
I got Robo back on the TikTok.
Oh,
gotcha. Yeah. It's been oh man, it's been a while since I've posted anything. Now that I've reloaded it on my phone, I guess it gave up.
Well, I was filling Robo in on the financial advantages of TikTok, and now
he's doing that. He's like, oh, you don't say.
He's got to get to the. You got to get to the 10,000 followers, but you'll get there soon enough.
Plus, doing the short format, I can upload to Instagram and YouTube. After I posted that short last week, I had a bunch of comments of, "Hey, I've been looking for you for a year and a half. I'm like, I've been right here."
It's so interesting how like you made it public. Like I only I don't follow you like religiously, but like I follow you, and like I didn't like the moment you did it. Like I don't understand.
Yeah, like everybody knew.
Yeah, like I you don't have to pay attention that hard to know.
It's I guess some people just scroll shorts. They don't go through the long form.
Interesting,
which is fun.
That's fine. Yeah.
But
what to do.
We'll see how TikTok goes.
Yeah.
Keep scrolling the short form content, people. Keep scrolling the TikTok.
What are you talking about? I posted an hour-long video on TikTok.
That is true. Yeah, TikTok kind of started to want people to do long form content. Like they told me they'd give me some incentives for like posting an hour video or whatever. And I think I have access to post like really long. I could post
really long
2 or
videos.
3 hour video if I wanted to. But at the same time, people when they're watching their phone vertically, they're not sitting there for 2 hours.
No.
They're watching 25 seconds of your video. If it's reveals, they'll watch 55 seconds of it and they're scrolling through, or they're watching 45 seconds and they're getting to the next dopamine hit, like what's going to keep their attention for the next 20 seconds. That's why most of my videos, I try to like 1 minute and 1 second. And then if it's anything over that, it's because I can't squeeze it in that short. So usually in unboxing, it takes me like 2 minutes to get through. And I have to cut down a lot of yapping that I do during those. So.
And it's difficult, huh? I want to keep that in, though. I made myself laugh doing it. Nope, gotta go.
Yeah. I was doing I unboxed the newest Commander Cody, and there was so much about it that I wanted to say, but I was already at like 2.5 minutes, and I'm like, this 2.5 minutes on TikTok, like I know other people, I've seen other creators on TikTok post 3.5 minute videos, and they get good views, but my algorithm, like the way, like how the way I'm in people's algorithms, if I go over 2.5 minutes on an unboxing, I don't think it's going to do well at all. So you got to cut out some things, and it's unfortunate, but you just got to hit the beats. That's why I don't really like review figures. I just unbox them, give like initial thoughts, and then say, let me know what you think of this figure, and then make sure it's over 1 minute long.
Well, when I post to TikTok, I usually take one of my YouTube reviews and just cut out like 90% of it. Just the highlights and I format it to be vertical video. But
change the aspect ratio.
But we're getting an all new Juggernaut, and that's also all I care about. An all new Juggernaut. They could have re-released a Juggernaut. We already have. But they're giving us an all-new Juggernaut, and I'm very happy. And that's
what are the biggest changes? Do you know what the biggest changes are from the last one to this one?
He's bigger.
Oh, he's actually bigger?
He's like...
And all the articulation.
Yeah, he has like butterfly joints and like he's just way beefier. No pins.
How long ago did that old one come out?
It was a Build-A-Figure from, I want to say 2018.
And then the 2-pack was the red.
Yeah, because I remember.
The 2-pack was mostly the same, but just with some like color tweaks and stuff.
Brighter browns and
that's the one I have. I didn't get the Build-A-Figure one, but I did get the 2-pack one because I do like I love a good beefy figure. Like I love a good chunky
black chrysanthemum
chunk of plastic. Yeah. So, but this one,
maybe a Tarful one day.
Maybe.
Man, I'm avoiding trying to get a kit. Because I have 2 or 3 chrysanthemums, maybe 4 or 5, and getting a Tarful kit. I know as soon as I do, they're going to announce it.
They're going to make one, so you should do it. You should bite the bullet, help everyone else out. Robo,
is that on the leak list? Or
I don't think it is actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't keep up.
That's okay. It wasn't supposed to rain today, but I washed my car yesterday, so
see, I mowed last Friday, and Been raining since.
Yeah.
But Juggernaut, it looks the size of Marvel Select, but articulated like a legend. It's everything I wanted out of that Select.
Yeah. And I really like the expressive look of the head, like that one shot they have that's real close, like an old comic cover. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, it looks real good. Like I didn't expect I didn't expect to want any of Marvel Legends. I'm usually safe watching Marvel Legends, like reveals. Like I'll watch them because I like to know what's coming out. But I'm like, I don't really buy a lot of Marvel Legends anymore. I'll do some X-Men here or there if they tickle my fancy, but like for the most part, I'm pretty safe. But it was the Street Fighter. It was my Street Fighter figures that got me. Like having all the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 figures. I'm like, well, I have to get these to go with those so I can have a Marvel vs. Capcom. Figures, I have a Marvel vs. Capcom display now instead of just a boring ass Street Fighter 2 display. So I'm in trouble. That's all I'm
and is Mega Man? Mega Man's part of that.
Well, so you can get a Jada Toy. They make Mega Man, and it scales pretty well with it. In fact, I almost bought one last weekend at Frankenstein. Again, I almost bought so many toys, but the move has been stopping me from just picking up toys. It's been really good for my wallet. But as soon as I move, I'm 100% going to order a Jada Toys Mega Man so I can put him on the shelf with these upcoming X-Men and Marvel and Capcom figures. Now I need like Strider. Like what I need is a company like Jada Toys to do all these other Capcom figures. Like give us some Resident Evil, give us Strider, like all those other random ass figures that like from stuff that you didn't really heard of at the time. Like I want all of those. Give me a little Servbot. Give me that Servbot.
They have enough trouble trying to get what they got out.
Yeah, that's true. No, you're fine. Yeah.
Well,
maybe Tony the Tiger will be on the team now. I don't know.
Some Fred Flintstone, throw him in there.
Yeah.
Or some Scooby Doo.
I'll make my own Marvel vs. Capcom 2 roster with blackjack and hookers.
Everything.
Marvel versus everything. Yeah. Frosty the Snowman's there.
It's not that they have trouble getting stuff out. He's very particular about releases.
Which I appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
like he wants stuff to be good. Like I get it.
But I'm ready for Scooby Doo.
Sure.
It's gotta.
Honestly, I'm probably not going to buy any Scooby Doo main character figures, but like those monsters, like that mummy.
Oh yeah.
You know, like how many times could I have done with like a fun mummy figure in like a picture or something? Like like
with
buying
all
it
your
for the
mythic
utility.
legions.
Yeah. Maybe they'll give us a fun mummy figure this year for like Halloween.
Yeah, maybe. One thing I wanted to talk about in our unknown regions segment, they revealed this like right before we started podcasting. This is
why I avoid Bandai Dragon Ball. I have no clue what. Oh wait, is this King?
It's Guru.
Oh,
Super Kami Guru.
But look how massive he is. That nail right there is just.
So my first thought is that second comment is like that's not an action figure. It's literally a statue.
Yeah, it's literally a statue.
This is like 3 points of articulation.
It has shoulders.
He has shoulders.
And that's maybe the head. I think the head twists. It
looks like there's some different expressions too.
Does Figure Arts have a statue? They have a statue line, don't they?
I think so.
I couldn't tell you.
And that third comment was my second one. No. Super Kami Guru. So if you've never watched Dragon Ball, there is this shouldn't be your first time watching Dragon Ball, but there is a YouTube channel where they redubbed Dragon Ball. They shortened all the episode. It's this Dragon Ball Bridged. And the Kami character they did, because they've changed characters, they make jokes. Kami is one of the funniest characters in all of whatever they've done. So now all I can think of is just all of his lines.
I think by this point I had forgotten, because I remember Little Green. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, Little Green. Yeah, Dende. Yeah, Little Green.
Dende.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't That's why when I talk about it, my brain thinks that's the actual.
That's the actual name.
You know,
Actual, absolutely. That's a real problem. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Like. But the funniest I've ever laughed at a YouTube video was the first or second episode where it was like, oh, on this planet you get stronger without clothes.
When you take off your clothes, yeah.
And you hear a zip.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not in on this, but I think what's exciting about this is they're including the Gohan and Dende, and Dende is a hard figure to get because he's locked in a giant pack with Porunga.
Oh, Porunga, the god,
and it's like $200 plus $250, and you get all the Dragon Balls, which is cool. But that Gohan that's also here, I really hope they release that Gohan again because that's a pretty expensive one. Are you
going to buy this set to get those two?
Absolutely not. I don't think this includes it. I think they're just showing pictures.
Oh, gotcha.
They just released this Krillin.
I saw that.
So I'm holding out, and they just released Nail. So I'm holding out hope that since they're including the picture of Gohan and Dende, that maybe they're on the way as well. But.
So real talk, I don't like Guru's head, like face. I think it looks weird. I don't think it looks right. He looks sad and melty.
Does it look? Does it look soft? I mean, like putty? Like
100%. It looks like clay or something.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had to make it softer to make so it twists.
It looks like it was a prototype that they never finalized, basically,
or like a class project.
Yeah. Yes. Like this is an art student's version of Nail.
Yeah.
No offense to any art students out there that have done a version of Nail. I'm sure yours is really good.
True. But I think that's it for the Outer Rim segment that we have where we talked about some things. It normally won't be that long, but there were a lot of Marvel Legends reveals.
And there's not a lot of other stuff to talk about. So we had a lot
nothing else to talk about.
And honestly, I did not wake up today expecting to want to buy a bunch of Marvel Legends and get back into G.I. Joe. It was a big day for me, okay? And I wanted to talk about it.
That's right.
So tell me about ICCC. Like tell me about it as the person who didn't get to go this year because I was in the middle of just doing other stuff.
Yeah, so we'll let Robo lead off.
How was Star Wars Theory?
Your ICCC experience. Star Wars Theory, luckily we didn't interact one bit. Unfortunately, he did have the longest line of anyone there.
Of course.
Maybe aside from Bo-Katan herself, Katie Sackhoff. But it was kind of unfortunate seeing how many people were just gawking at the idea of meeting. There was a long line. He was autographing lightsabers and lightsaber boxes, and he sold what looked like to be hundreds and thousands of theory sabers or whatever. But aside from that, like, Robo, what did you think of your ICCC experience?
There was a line, and then the celebrities on the other side. But as far as the con itself, it was fun. I've been to big shows. I've been to little shows. It was that run-of-the-mill type show, which is good for the area, but it's hard to compare to all over the U.S.
Yeah,
but like I said earlier, a destination show is what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't feel like it's gonna. It was more of a meetup show, which is what I went when Outbased and Figure Ball started talking about ICC. I thought, south of Nashville, I can drive that. So that's why I ended up going, and that was the funnest part, was actually just wandering around, hanging out, going to get food.
Kind of a nobody, like just being there as like a fan kind of thing. I think that's always fun. Not that I've ever experienced the other side. Although I don't know if you're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. I might be at San Diego Comic-Con this year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you're going to move from San Diego?
Immediately. Immediately come back. I've got plane tickets already like booked to come back. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I've got hotel. I haven't got plane tickets yet.
Okay. I'm staying with one of my friends that lives down in the city. So.
We missed the raffle, the hotel lottery or whatever. So we're staying
super expensive too.
Yeah, we're staying out of town a bit.
Okay. Oh, where out of town? I mean,
north. I don't know which. We usually stay at the hotels across from the airport.
Okay.
On the little island.
Well, Mike, if you just leave a key under the rug, his house will be empty. You can just walk in and the owner won't ever know. Just take a sleeping bag.
Well, if he hasn't sold it yet. But honestly, I live like 40 minutes away, so it's not ideal. It's not impossible, but it's not ideal. Like if I were going to be down there all 4 days, I'd probably want to get a room down there just so I don't have to drive all the way there and back every day.
That's true.
Yeah. We had an offer for the hotel that's right there beside the convention center. Mm-hmm. But that is expensive.
Yeah, like thousands of dollars. Yeah.
Yeah. But nah, we'll do the taxi or tram or whatever.
Yeah, it's Uber. That's what I'm gonna do.
But for ICC Con, I thought it were like the actual convention. The venue was fabulous this year, much better than the hotel last year. It was an atrium style hotel, so whenever you had the room sales, you could see which rooms were getting the sales.
That's fun
because that's only my second time doing room sales, and third or fourth hotel con where you don't have to leave. Yeah, and I almost don't want to do other shows. Hotel cons are where it's at. It's
exactly lobby sales.
Yeah, hang out all night.
Yep.
Yeah, when I do TF Con every year, that's a hotel con where it's like at the hotel and you can stay there, and it's really nice when you're buying stuff because you don't have to carry it around. You can just go up to your room and like drop it off and then go back down to the floor like 5 minutes later,
which makes you buy more stuff.
It's terrible.
but the atrium, you could just go out, you could see the open doors. And then you could see everybody where everybody else was, like coffee going up and down the elevator. 6, 7, 8, 9.
Was coffee just going up and down the elevator all day?
Yeah. What are you doing?
What are you doing, coffee? Elevator.
But yeah, the convention, like the venue was bigger, but the biggest complaint that I have, and I know like some of our other inner circle friends have the same one, it felt like there were less vendors for like Black Series and toy vendors in general than there have been in past years, which is unfortunate because, I really appreciate Michael Havens and the staff for giving me a press pass for 4 years in a row now and giving Black Series Cantina a spot on the podcast stage. But I feel like they've said publicly in the past that they're not trying to be the big con and having like these random ass vendors there that have nothing to do with what the con is actually about. And then you turn to the aisle and there's the Marines sitting there, with their pull-up bar and trying to recruit people to join the military. And it's like, it just seemed like it's kind of getting to the point where I feel like they're just trying to, like, I don't know, I guess they just had a spot to fill and the Marines were willing to take it. And I get it was such a quick turnaround from the last ICC con since it was in, October, September, right, Mike?
Yeah.
So I get it might have been harder to fill the vendor spots, but I just
it was really weird that it was so soon after the last one. I was like, I was just there in October.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like it was still solid this year, but I feel like it's been better in past years, but I think there's great potential now that hopefully the next ICC con is back in May next year, and that way there's a full year to actually get more, Black Series hot toys, Star Wars vendors rather than just like these candles and stickers and the military and these
Ninja
like
turtles
and these TikTok, Instagram real people that should not have been there as guests in the first place.
Maybe we can get Black Series Cantina as a guest. Let's go. Bro,
Michael. I put on my Instagram story, this is another year where our podcast spot on the stage has more views on the ICCCon Facebook page than the biggest star that they have on there. Ours right now sits at 1,000 even. Katie Sackhoff's is at like 900 something. The only one in front of us out of everybody that's been on the podcast stage was Warwick Davis. So
we were bigger than Billy D. Williams last year.
Yeah,
like
so
in terms of views.
Yeah. So 1,000 on that, and then so I on my story I said I think we need to be put on the big stage next year. I know we probably won't be able to fill that auditorium.
Yeah, big boy pants. Come on.
But that's always fun doing the podcast station. We'll play the audio here in a little bit. But of course, I had a blast. I also put together a little slideshow. I know we did one last year, so I wanted to show people, and I didn't want to show people like pictures of the con and like the room sales. You can go on like you can go on my TikTok and Instagram and check out the videos I did for that. Go to Out of the Basement and check out their vlog. I know Tommy Blitz Transmissions put together a pretty good vlog, so go check that one out for stuff like that. I just put together a couple pictures. Here's us on the podcast stage.
You look such a nerd.
Bro, look at that shirt. Isn't that sick? Isn't that the sickest shirt you've ever seen?
It's sick. Is that rain?
The drive down, this is a couple screenshots from the video that Justin took while we were driving down. I'm driving, of course.
You are white knuckling that. Look at that.
Bro, the lights, the tail lights on the cars in front of me, that's more than I could see in person. Like, I just feel like the camera picked it up better than the human eyes could. I couldn't see the hood of my car with how heavy the rain was coming down. And I've never driven in rain. I've driven in bad rain, but this rain was next level. I had to look out of my driver window to see the yellow line so I could make sure I was going straight. Because I was in the middle lane at first, and it got so bad that I couldn't see any taillights in front of me. I think these people pulled over and stopped.
I was going to say, that's like pull over and like the rain out kind of rain.
Yeah, and I was going 5 miles an hour, maybe, just inching along. 2 miles an hour, maybe, just like really slow. But I didn't want to totally stop, but I also didn't want to get rear-ended by somebody just flying down.
Because they can't see you, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. Yeah. They can't see. So I was going to play the video, but the audio for people listening, I just feel like all the rain crashing would have been awful. So I just took a couple screenshots. So join the Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to the video, and $11 you can join us live. But that was absolutely insane. And then next up, here's a group picture that we got. This was before Robo joined.
That was night one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this was day one of the con. I think this was maybe after like the first couple walkthroughs of the floor. I don't remember when we took this picture. Maybe like
familiar faces. Is that Phantom Menace Dennis over there?
Yeah, I got Phantom Menace Dennis, Commander Cook, Coffee, Justin, everybody else. Renoaz in the middle. Fig Fury. You got to meet Fig Fury.
For the
first time, which was awesome.
Who's got the pretty hair?
That is Zavi. He's
Zavi.
He's from the UK. He flew all the way over from London, which is awesome.
Dang, that's a long trip to like. That's a commitment.
His party trick is a Hayden Christensen
I could tell,
impression
honestly.
that if you close your eyes, it's dang good.
If you know, you know, Based Emperor, right, Mike? I know you'll like this one.
the fists.
The double-fisted Emperor.
Is he him?
He is him. I am him. So if you know, you know, but I had to throw the double-fisted SHF Emperor in here. I might have
Did they really give the Emperor like punchy hands?
Yeah, the SHF Emperor comes with alternate hands, and he has two
fighting
fists.
style.
Yeah. So I had to do that. This was like late night. I had to take that picture. Of course you had to. What's next? Okay.
Wait. This
is Mr. Coffee getting a tattoo, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Supposedly he's getting a tattoo in this picture.
It does look a compromised picture.
Yeah, I took this picture from such a far distance. I was like, oh, I'm going to take a picture of Coffee struggling with his tattoo. And then I took it and I was like, wait, this looks like something different's going on.
It does look like something different. Yeah, for sure.
Anakin, no.
Nice little selfie. Look at that. A couple familiar faces in this one. Got Out of the Basement Boys. This was right after we got to Buster's, I believe, walking into the restaurant there. And then somebody, I think I posted this and somebody said, find you a man that looks at you the way Zach looks at Wilbon.
No, that's true. Yeah. That's loving right there. You look so weird clean shaven, by the way.
What do you mean? I'm always clean shaven.
You are not. You're like scruff right now.
Well, I try to stay clean shaven as much as I can.
I feel like every time I see you, you got scruff going on, and I think that's a good look.
Yeah, this probably is my best look. Like not fully beard, but it's like kind of just barely in, maybe. But I actually, if I had it my way, I would make it to where I grow no facial hair because I like that look for me better, and it feels better on my face, having no hair, honestly. And I feel like I look younger with it as well. But, you guys tell me.
If
you want to ask the two guys with giant beards?
True.
If I ever want to go incognito, if I rob a bank and have to go
100%.
There you go.
It just changes the whole shape of your face.
Yeah, gone. Nobody will ever see me again.
We got another group selfie that Zoo Boy took. Had to throw that one in there. So everybody knows Tommy's a cop, and this was me.
Oh, he's giving you a drunk.
Yeah, I was pretty intoxicated at this point, and he was giving me the sobriety test, which I thought I was doing great, and then he was like, "Nah, bro, you're failing miserably." I felt like my eyes were tracking pretty good, but the cop said otherwise.
I am nailing this test.
Yeah, my eyes felt like they were going smooth, but he said they were like jumping to follow, so I guess that's the indicator for that. But that was pretty neat to do. I've never had to do that before, so. And that's Zavi right there. This hunk of just like peak male physicality here. Like the hair, the way the hair flows. Yeah. Like the accent. He was risen up like some restaurant hotel hostesses or something.
Oh, like the burger joint waitress.
Yeah.
Cashiers.
The burger joint waitress. Yeah. They were all over this guy.
Yeah, and the girls were just like, "Oh, say something else in your accent."
Yeah.
Why weren't they saying that about you, Robo?
Because it's Tennessee.
Because it's Tennessee. That's what everyone sounds like there.
Move along.
Papa Turney's. I recognize that.
Yep. Papa Turney's. I will say, Papa Turney's this year, I don't know. Maybe it's because we went for lunchtime. But it was much better the last 2 years I've been. I'll say that. Maybe.
I mean, I've given my opinion on Papa Turney's. It's fine. I think you guys hyped it up a lot. It's fine. I've had better. I've had better barbecue.
Kansas City, kind of.
I mean, I lived in Texas. I've lived in Kansas City.
Texas.
I've had better barbecue.
Listen, the wings last year were some of the best smoked wings I've ever had. This year, even like they were good. They just weren't to die for, like the wings I had 2 years ago, where I've been thinking about those wings every day.
I think
but
it depends on how hungry you are when you eat them, because I've had some meals that probably weren't as good as I remember them being, but I was so hungry at the time that anything would have tasted amazing because I was eating.
That's fair.
I've had McDonald's fries like that before.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Man, what'd they do?
These are the best fries I've ever had. Yeah.
And I know Nate enjoyed Papa Turney's a lot more than he did 2 years ago than he did this last time.
That's because he was. I can see it right now. I can see how hungover he is. Why were you guys there at lunch?
It's just the way it worked out because we had to do the podcast stage at 5:45.
Oh, that's right. You had a late night.
And so.
And then we had cookout later that night.
And we were going to try to do. We were going to try to do cookout, but then we ended up. Well, some of us went to bed early, and then you all got stuck eating there at 3 a.m. Ridiculous. I couldn't imagine. I'm glad I got some sleep. And then I think this last picture. Oh, I forgot.
What happened to Zoo Boy?
So Zoo Boy ran.
He's turtling.
This is Tangy Fungus here. He was leaving right after Papa Turney's, and Zoo Boy ran to give him a hug and just jumped and fell. And he scraped his knee really bad and started bleeding out of his knee.
Did you help him up, because he can't get off his back when he's like that?
No, I took the photo. I took.
Oh, you're just laughing. No, that's good. That's good. You have to document it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the guy. If something happens, I'm recording. Somebody's got to document it. Nobody
Someone else has to help him out. I have to document
for posterity.
Yeah. There's like 12 other people that can
I would have picked him. I would have picked him up like the bodyguard, just like love lift us up where we belong, like that kind of thing.
I was talking to Fig, missed the whole thing.
Yeah, I turned around. Next thing you know, I just see like Zoo Boy hitting the ground.
On the ground.
Yeah.
We missed everything until Coffee's girlfriend was bandaging and just bleeding all over the place.
Poor Zoo Boy. Oh, Zoobs.
He got a boo-boo at Coffee.
He got a boo-boo.
Papa Turney's.
Mr. Turney. Mr. Turney.
Mr. Turney's. Unfortunately, we missed Papa this year. He wasn't there.
Oh, that's
it was around lunchtime.
Yeah.
But somebody DM'd him, and he said he appreciates us going there, and he's sorry he missed us. We'll see him next year. So this was the group hug after Papa Turney's. I don't know if Robo's in this picture somewhere. Probably not.
I think I'm on the other side.
Other side?
Kind of like, okay. I don't know if I know these guys enough to be a group hug. Because this wasn't even
very inclusive.
12 hours.
Yeah, you were here for, this was the day you got there, right? No, we went to the burger joint.
Yeah.
Before the first day. Before. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, you hadn't even noticed for 24 hours here yet, barely.
Yeah.
In person, at least. And some of these guys you probably never even knew of.
And Nate's not even doing the real hug. He's just,
I know.
Yeah, what is he hover handsing? He didn't want to throw up on anyone, is what was happening. He was worried. Maybe he had to just get out real quick just in case. Yeah.
And then this is the infamous Meeting of the Minds picture. So this was probably the most fun I've had in a long time, because this is truly Christmas morning, like everybody opening like their figures they bought. I think I'm messing with the SHF Anakin I got or something, and then I remember I was messing with the Boba Fett as well. But like everybody's messing with like a hot toy or some figures they bought.
What is Nate messing with? It looks like a hand puppet.
I think it's Zavi's Clone Wars Obi-Wan hot toy. It's just the picture is incredible.
It looks like he has a hand puppet.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it looks
under
like.
The cape there.
Yeah.
But this was so cool because since Robo was upgraded to the presidential suite, that he had this conference room and then this living room and then this other living room and then his private bedroom in the back. And so we were all just sitting around this table talking about figures and having a good time.
And I almost didn't want to mention it the first night because it felt very, oh,
God, we can come up to my room.
Yeah. I got upgraded to blah, blah, blah. But I finally did because it would have been a shame to not use this space for something.
Sure. You got it. Yeah. Might as well use it. Yeah.
Yeah. But this was such a great time because everybody and we were there for probably a couple hours, I guess, before you all went to a cookout. And this was like night 2. We know everybody's leaving the next day. So because we were doing the room sale and then it got to the point of the night, I think it was 10 or 10:30, and we were like, we just need a couple hours to hang out with like all of our inner circle buddies, for a couple hours before everybody has to disperse in the morning after we eat breakfast or something. So this was like great just to hang out with everybody in an enclosed space without strangers walking in, shopping the room for sales and being separated from everybody. Because usually at the con, even in the hotel, like you're talking to a group of 3 people and like half the group is somewhere else looking at toys in the hotel, and then you're hanging out with them, and then the other group you're like separated the whole time. So this was fun to get everybody in one room, for the night and hang out and chat. But this is like, I think Justin compared it to like that famous Obama administration where they're watching like the Bin Laden assassination or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're in the boardroom, like they're all we call this the Meeting of the Minds picture.
And Coffee opened up his speeder bike and we passed around Jabba the whole
nice.
And then the metal rail.
The metal rail. Yeah, that thing was. I was impressed at how heavy that was. I wasn't expecting that. Solid. They could have done a much cheaper material for that, and it would have probably looked great. Maybe not as great, but it would have looked good enough, I would imagine. But that thing was probably, that and the dais were really heavy.
Yeah. But then there was also Balin and that Anakin, or did he get Anakin?
No, Zavi got the Clone Wars Obi-Wan and Galen Urso, the hot toy, and then Wilbon got the hot toy Balin Skull, and then of course Mr. Coffee got the speeder bike and the Scout Trooper and then also the Dais with Jabba, which was just an insane pickup.
So here's the thing. Now that I'm like next year, obviously we're gonna go. I can go. We're gonna drive because I'm in a place where I can drive. I feel like it's our duty for everyone to get like one hot toy.
Everybody buys a hot toy.
Everyone has to have one hot toy.
Hey, I was looking for the Coruscant Guard. They had one for $300, and I'm like, that's way too expensive. And it was an open one already. That's $80 above what it goes for in secondary market, and then I got this one for $190, after the fact. So, but I mean, if there's any hot toys there, they had one booth with a decent amount of hot toys, but there was just nothing super interesting.
No, even if it's something you don't really want, you have. It's like
you just have to.
Just buy a random hot toy.
You just have to buy one hot toy. That's the price of going.
Yep.
You can sell it afterwards, but you have to buy one there.
Mm-hmm.
Or borrow.
I guess that's true.
For the night.
It's a one hot toy minimum at the bar
to get in the boardroom.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think we talked about next year. Everybody splits. Unless, if Robo goes again and he gets upgraded to like a free.
Well, that's not a guarantee, but
I'll sleep under Robo's conference table.
But everybody because we were kind of talking about getting an Airbnb next year, and then because I think we're gonna take our spouses next year and then get split an Airbnb because it'll be good. Like the girls can hang out in Nashville for the weekend, and then while we do the con thing, and but then everybody. Because if you have 14, 15 people splitting a conference room, then that way we can all have like one hub at the hotel and then hang out at nighttime with each other.
Sure.
Then it wouldn't be very expensive, if we had a lot of people, do that. So, and that way we could have that big of a space for room sales.
But then the manager can't upgrade Robo.
and plus I couldn't find that specifically to rent. I got curious and wanted to find out what the price was, and I couldn't find an option for that at the hotel.
That's how expensive it was. If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Well, if the manager is listening to this podcast because he enjoys the podcast and enjoys Robo's content, and we would like to book the hospitality room for next ICC Con. So DM us. But ICC Con was cool. Of course, like what Robo said, now at this point it's become a meetup con. Would I go if no? I'm 2.5 hours away from it. Would I still go if nobody else goes? Probably. I'd probably go for a day and come back the next day.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it a weekend thing.
No, I would definitely definitely not. I'd go down there for. Yeah. I'd do like I did the first time I went. I'd go there for one day, stay the night. Yeah. And then drive, maybe hit it up the next day and then just leave town after I eat lunch or something. But I definitely wouldn't make it a whole weekend thing. That's really what makes it special. And it was awesome meeting Robo in person for the first time. And, hopefully, Robo, you keep going. So
the hanging out made me regret not being there Thursday. You know what I mean? After it was man, I was still there. Well, almost 2 days, not quite, but. And we packed a lot of stuff into that Saturday and I guess late Friday, Saturday, early Sunday. But if it's, I hated to leave and I hated that I missed a whole day.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get there Thursday. We got there Friday morning. I'd be totally down to get there on a Thursday night as well. But I know Justin and Nate usually work that Friday or they work Thursday and then drive down Thursday night, and they don't get into Louisville until maybe 11:30. So maybe next year, but then they'd have to take an extra day off work.
Yeah,
which is 2 days for it. So
I'll go because I just map quest. Map quest is that a thing anymore? I just mapped it out.
I
Apple Maps it out. And Louisville is on the way there from where I'm at. So I would 100% drive to Louisville like the day before. Sleep on your couch again.
Hey, we also bought a new couch that's even comfier up top than the previous one we had on the top floor. So we got room for a lot of people. So
I had fun last year when we did it, so I'm looking forward to it again this year. And Esteban, I also have we met at TFCon? Is that because I go there every year, and I'm still going to come back to LA for TFCon because I can't not.
Mm-hmm. And for Celebration 27?
For Transformers Con. It's like every March.
But what about
Celebration? I don't know. I feel like that's like years away. I feel like we probably will. It's 50th. Yeah, I feel like we probably will. I feel like we'll have to for sure. And you said you're gonna be at Legion's Con in November, right? I'm always tough with Legion's Con because it's always my wife and I anniversary.
Oh, that's right.
That weekend. So it's tough to like justify where I'm like, well, we can go to New York and I can then go to New Jersey for like a day. But like I'd love to go to Legion's Con. If not this year, I think definitely next year. When I can plan it out better after, I'm not uprooting my life and moving halfway across the United States.
Yeah.
Mike, I can't believe you're moving all the way onto this side of the country just so you can make it to ICCC Con easier every year.
Yeah, that's 100% the reason. Yeah, that's actually the impetus was like, I just need to be closer. Actually, I will be honest. I am looking forward to living in the middle of the U.S. so I can get more places easy. Like it's prohibitively expensive or far for a lot of stuff. Like especially Legion Con, that's always in New Jersey. I'm about as far away as you can get.
Literally,
like from there in San Diego. Where like if I'm in the middle, I can just it's like a 4 or 5 hour flight or whatever, 3 hour flight or a drive.
There's a I blanked. Oh, Toy Fair.
Yep.
I'm sure you can. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm looking forward to maybe being at more stuff now. So for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we should play the audio I guess the video. I'll put the video in as well for the people watching.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going.
This is the third year in a row Black Series Cantina has been on the podcast stage. Unfortunately, Mike couldn't make it with us this year, but we replaced him with Wilbon and Tommy. So enjoy this for the next 15 or so minutes. Hello, and welcome to the Black Series Cantina ICCC Con Edition live podcast for the third consecutive year. Of course, I am Zach, host of the Black Series Cantina podcast, and it's sort of a tradition. I can't do this here without my best friends, so I'm going to introduce them. I'm here with Nate and Justin from Out of the Basement.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
We have Wilbon representing Monday Night Figure Ball.
How y'all doing today?
And we have Tommy from Blitz Transmission's YouTube channel.
Hello there.
And I know I speak for myself, we're having a great time at the con, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. Of course, the con is great, but what's really amazing is hanging out with all of these guys and the crowd that we have here, hanging out all night. So
shout out the crowd.
Shout out chat.
Shout out chat. Got the live chat going crazy.
Appreciate you all coming. Shout out Zoo Boy. So appreciate you all coming here, first of all, but I'll pass the torch to you. How are you all enjoying the con?
So far, so good. It's been a great experience. Lots of good pickups. We got to meet Katie Sackhoff earlier today, which was very cool. Mm-hmm. She signed my copy of Halloween Resurrection, which was awesome. It's something I've been waiting for a long time. And I also met Lewis McLeod as well, who voices Sebulba. And that was a really cool experience.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, there's a brand new Black Series figure that just came out, which is pretty much all of our bread and butter. Not so much you anymore, Wilbon.
Transitioning to other things.
Elbon.
Yeah.
Jake.
Sebulba Hot Toys win?
Yeah, so we got a really nice yellow paint pen on there, and, he hit us with the quote, the poodoo.
Yeah.
He hit us with the poodoo.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So that was pretty cool. And yeah, it was interesting to see Katie Sackhoff's reaction to a non-Star Wars item with your Halloween Resurrection tape.
Mm-hmm.
She said it wasn't that uncommon though.
Yeah.
So that was kind of surprising.
I thought it was going to be kind of rare, honestly.
Yeah.
for her
That's
to sound
surprising. I would think she just gets nothing but Bo-Katan.
But that was her first
Battlestar
movie,
Galactica.
her first big movie, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, yeah, it's been fun. And like Zach said, it's all about the camaraderie and meeting up with all the friends. That's really my favorite part of this whole experience is everyone coming together from all over the world this time. Quick shout out to Zavi coming all the way from the UK.
Hey.
So it's just crazy how this event always brings people together. And it's our third year going on this con. So how about you, Wilbon?
Man, ICC Con's always a blast every year. I feel like there's the room sales, just take it to another level too, like versus any other convention I've been to.
That was so fun.
Like, and then just the hangouts, everybody
Lobby
getting
sales.
together, like you said, from around the world at this point. Like, this is our group's, hopefully, like yearly get together, and it's just a great experience every time.
Yeah, Tommy?
Yeah, kind of echoing what Wilbon said. I call this the mecca of our get together every year. This is the one thing that everybody tries to make sure that they go to, and you'll rearrange your schedule to go to. As far as the guests have been awesome this year, and I want to give a shout out to all the voice actors for the prequel trilogy characters. I got to talk to them today, and all three of them said the same exact thing, which was it feels so good to be appreciated for that role. And as you know, people who grew up with the prequels, all of us here, it's exciting to feel heard as people who go to the con consecutive years. You know, shout out Michael Havens. I see you guys. I want to get some prequel love in here this year, and to also see that the voice actors are also really enjoying their time here and really feeling the love from fans who grew up with the movies that they were a part of.
So who was it all, Tommy? It was Tanway and...
Tanwi, Rena Owen was Tanwi, and then we had Lewis McLeod was Sebulba, and then we had Watto.
Yeah,
my brain's going a million miles a minute.
Andy Sumby?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And shout out to Michael Havens and the ICCCon staff for putting this thing together. This is the 4th year I've had a press pass, and I'm so glad that I gave you all the word, and then you all joined me a couple years ago, and then now we always have a big group to hang out with every year, which is a lot of fun. But let's talk about pickups that we've gotten, because I've noticed in our ICCCon podcast that we do, we always talk about some of our favorite items. I'll start first. I finally picked up the Order 66 pack.
Congratulations.
There you go. I love the 1.0 clones for Black Series.
Where's Hunter at?
Shout out 212 Hunter.
Shout out.
There it is.
Yeah.
But what are some of your all's favorite pickups you found so far?
Well, I feel like my favorite pickup was a little bit of a pre-con pickup because I did get the HasLab sail barge.
Yes.
Which is just crazy. Shout out to Hunter for making that happen, and everyone else who
it's in my basement right now.
Chipped in a little bit.
I'm part owner, actually.
That's true. That is absolutely true. But besides that, it was nice to. There's just a lot of 3 3/4 inch that I've got this time around. I got the Wolfman Jedi that sticks out to me. I had the Talls and the Ithorian Jedi from Tartakovsky Clone Wars. So I was just missing that last. Unique alien Jedi, and finally being able to snag that was really awesome.
Yeah, so Nate and I have a show called Figure It Out, and on the episode that went up on Friday, we talked about things that we would really be on the lookout for at this convention. And luckily for me, I got all 3 things, which was the Jabba the Hutt set that comes with the railing and the hookah, the green hookah thing, and the little salacious crumb. So I got that as a result pretty much of the room sales. Shout out Mr. Coffee for that. Then Zooboy came through with Toto 360 from the Hasbro Pulse exclusive set, and the Pick Muck Mug from Zach.
You're welcome.
So I literally got everything. Got a couple Navy Troopers, Black Series. Want to do some head swap type stuff. ICCCon is really good for kind of under retail army building, I would say. So I'd definitely consider this weekend a big success for me.
Awesome. That's great.
Wilbon, favorite pickup?
For me, my absolute favorite has to be the Sideshow Momot Nadon. I never thought I would find that for a relatively affordable price. And for the lobby sale, there just happened to be one out there in the middle of the floor. And I was like, all right, it's perfect. It's a perfect price for me. I got to move on this. There was no hesitation. I was just in on it. So
I got to give that one to Wilma.
Yeah.
MoMA.
Who's doing that?
As far as pickups for me, something I'm doing a separate video in addition to like my vlog coverage of this weekend, where I'm having each of my friends pick out a Kenner Star Wars figure so I can build out a Kenner display for my collection. Because I feel like for me, I've now accumulated some sort of collection of pretty much every major line, specifically Hasbro Star Wars, since the beginning. So I was like, the only era I'm missing at this point is the Kenner era. And so a fun way to do that, rather than just, let me just buy a bunch of figures and fill up a shelf, was having people throughout the weekend. I think I still got to get a couple of you guys tonight at the room sales, but just putting that together today, earlier, having it mostly completed, one playset, one vehicle, a mini rig, some of the figures. It's been a lot of fun to put that together.
Yep. But not only is ICCCon great for buying things, for selling things in the room sales, shout out to Hunter again, because somebody walked into the room sale and bought every single hot toy he had for $1,500 or something insane. So congratulations on that. And not only did I get the Order 66 pack, but Wilbon selling Black Series for $5 a piece.
Oh yeah.
So I've been able to piece together a lot of things.
What are we doing?
We had
clearing out the
slop?
No. All right, good night.
I'm out.
No, that is great that they allow you to do that, because I'm not really familiar with conventions, but I feel like that would be against the rules in a lot of other convention type spaces. And I know Michael Havens in interviews says that he wants the vibe to be like a big sleepover of Star Wars nerds. So I think it's really cool that he allows the room sales and the lobby sales, just all the cool stuff that you see. Even if it's lines you don't collect, it's just cool to see, for me at least, a lot of the more vintage stuff and
same. Yeah,
so much rich history.
Yeah,
that's right.
And this year especially, getting more into the episode 3, the stuff that came out in 2005. I found a lot of stuff like that. I bought my favorite toy as a kid. I found it in perfect condition for $12 at a room sale yesterday. The guy took 10 for it.
Nice.
Because me and Wilbon bundled a deal together.
Yeah.
Which figure was that?
That was the Anakin Darth Vader, where the Anakin like flips.
Oh, the 2-pack?
Yeah.
The 2-pack.
So awesome.
So that was definitely my favorites.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. Even just, a lot of stuff is, fairly expensive, which deservedly so, but it's just really cool to see a lot of this stuff in person and just be in the presence. And like the thing that sticks out to me was seeing the Final Duel Mustafar 3 3/4 inch set. Someone had it out there in the box, and just seeing it in person with the mixture of, being hyped for Revenge of the Sith right now, since it's the anniversary.
Should I go get it? It's out there still.
It's so awesome to see so much cool stuff, and it's just like pumping nostalgia straight into my veins.
Yeah.
I also think this is a much better venue.
Yes,
Like,
I
this
love
is
this
kind of
venue a
fancy.
lot.
It's kind of bougie.
I really like it.
This hotel is great.
Yeah. I like that everything is like 10 minutes away. If I want to go get food, if I want to go to Walmart, if I want to go to just get gas, I don't have to drive a million miles away for anything.
Yeah.
It's been very convenient. I like the atrium setup of the rooms here because you can see all the places that have room sales. Yeah. Everyone has their door open. I don't have to go from floor to floor hunting for the room sales. It's very, very fun.
We were joking. It reminds us of Utapau.
Yeah.
10th level, thousands of battle droids.
You got those free drinks too?
Yeah.
What, 4 and...
I'm about to hit that up after this is over. I'll tell you that much. Yeah.
All right.
I got to give that one to Tommy.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger too. There's a lot more breathing room this year compared to last year, so I would definitely say that's a big improvement.
And the guests are all great. You talked about Katie Sackhoff. Tommy, who all did you get an autograph from?
Who'd I get one from?
Yeah.
I got one from Rena Owen, Lewis McLeod, Andy Succombe, Katie Sackhoff, and then I'm hoping for Brendan Wayne. I've missed him twice today, so I'm hoping that tomorrow I can catch him when we come in. But
yeah, I was light on the autographs this year. I didn't do any this year. I regret not doing Amy Allen on Ayla last year, but this year there weren't really any that I particularly wanted.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish I could have got a Bo-Katan one, but now I guess it might be a little too late. But also, speaking of like past years, meeting Ian McDermott at the last couple of years was fantastic. Having the episode 3 card or the episode 6 card. I just wish we could have gotten an episode 3 one, because maybe he'll be here next year. You never really know with this con. They always have some crazy, some awesome guests.
Yep.
Yeah. That was it. I thought you were going to say something.
I was saying, yep.
But I love this con. It really is. This is the only one I really go out of my way to go to. Yeah. And again, I know we joke about the whole, big corporate con thing, but it literally is. Like, I hate standing in lines and then hurrying up to stand in another line and spending hours and hours doing that. Like, this con is also very affordable. If you are going to the room sales and you make money, like we're going to have a 2/12 Hunter shout out counter here. But he made some serious money at the room sales. And Michael Havens also says to everybody, he wants you to leave and you bought stuff, but you also made some money before you leave at the end of the weekend. So it's cool to actually see a very extreme case of that with 2/12 Hunter. But it was super cool to see just the energy and just the variety. There's a little bit of everything for every generation of collector.
Yeah, very affordable. There's not going to be any $35 plates of orange chicken here compared to cons or something like that. But no $9 Cokes either.
No.
Sure. Nice and affordable.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was awesome. Like I definitely had a fear when meeting Katie, just being like, oh man, I'm going to have to waste my whole Saturday waiting in line, and I'm going to have to, but I got to do it. But thankfully I came in right when the con opened. I literally just walked right up. I was like the third person in line. So I was like, all right, cool. That was the end of that.
Yeah, and she said she really enjoyed that too. Having the conversations with the fans instead of just people walking up with a wagon, just sign 30 things, or she has to get through hundreds of signatures in a day, can't even talk to people who were just there to meet her. So it was cool. My fiance and I got to sit down and talk to her for a while.
Nice. You all have anything else you all want to talk about? We have about a minute and a half left, probably.
So many pickups. Got Kit Fisto's Jedi Starship.
That was good.
That was a good pick.
Yeah, that was one that last minute I was just like, you know what? Why not?
What was, real quick, we can do a round. Like, what was number one, maybe like your favorite thing or like the best deal you got?
Ooh,
for me, probably the Archive Anakin, even though it's a really crappy figure, but Wilmot gave it to me for like $10.
You got that sweetheart deal.
It's gonna be on eBay in like 2 minutes. So real quick, what was your best deal? We got to wrap it up.
Best deal, sail barge.
Bro, best deal, witnessing Nate getting the sail barge. I mean, I live vicariously through Nate with that one.
Yeah.
So.
Still sideshow Momo. I mean, you can't beat that.
How much you got that for? How much?
I paid $350 for it, but that thing goes for like $1,000 on the aftermarket.
And Tommy, what do you think your best deal?
Probably some vintage Kenner stuff. I got bundled up, a vehicle playset. It was really good price.
So I think that's going to do it for the ICC Con Black Series Cantina Live podcast number 3. This is my 4th year as a press member. So thank you to the ICC Con staff and Michael Havens for giving me that honor. Hopefully next year we can continue the tradition and have the BSC podcast number 4 with my best friends up on the stage with me. So thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this live or watching the replay, be sure you come to ICC Con next year if you want to hang out with us, and we'll see you then.
See you guys.
Bye.
It's okay. I'm pretty sure. Like,
is that a good break,
I can cut
a break
it.
right there?
If there's a second break, I can cut it. But like last year when we were doing it, like I'm pretty sure I'll cut this out. But I'm pretty sure like Michael Havens did not like the stuff I was saying on stage.
That's what I heard.
I
heard about that.
We were like, too bad Mike's not here to shit on the con while we're on the podcast stage for it.
He just kept giving me like the dirtiest looks, and he's a big guy, and I'm like, I'm not small, but like he's bigger than me. But yeah, I don't think he likes me very much. And then I also like on the announcement for Star Wars Theory, I wasn't overly positive.
You were in Theory's video.
I was featured on, and they had people hunting me down in those comments to tell me what they thought about my opinion on Star Wars Theory.
Star Wars Theory, credit to him, he has his loyal defenders. We'll say that, and they come out of the closet and they attack full force.
That's fine. That's fine. Oh no, I don't like someone they like. Oh no.
I know that's always I mean, that goes all the way down. It's not even people anymore. It's like, he doesn't like this toy I like. Oh.
I know, like I that is my identity, which means that you don't like me. Yeah. That's like they take it so personally.
But we hope you enjoyed. We hope you enjoyed that video of us on the podcast stage at ICCCon. Hopefully we get to do it again next year because it's always a lot of fun. I hope next year we get a little better of a time slot. You know, we got the very last spot.
Well, I feel like last year they put us like first thing in the morning, and that was also tough because we were super hungover.
It feels like that feels like the premiere spot though at the end of the day, right?
That's the headliner. That's like
but I'd like to be there at like noon because that's when the most people are probably walking around the con floor, and then maybe they'll pop in like some new people and kind of check out what's going on. But I mean,
want to get new viewers. You want to get new listeners from like convention.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But it is, I would say, going at near 6 o'clock local time instead of like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. local time is a lot better considering the activities that we partake in.
Yeah, I would rather if I had a choice. If they were like, hey, nighttime or morning time, I would choose nighttime every time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
At least you'd gotten some sleep. See. The figure ball guys all took off from the conference room. And then Zach, you and Nate and Justin, I thought we were waiting to come back to go to food, And then y'all left. And I was like, there's nobody else. I guess I'm going to bed. That makes it sound like I was sad about it, but I wasn't. It was just like,
nobody wants to hang out with Robo anymore.
I flipped the lights off, I dimmed the lights down, and I got on my phone and was sitting kind of waiting to get tired, and I was going to head back. And then there was a knock on the door, and it was the figure ball guys, just like, hey, we're going to food.
What are you doing?
Why are you sitting here in the dark, you sad sack? And I was like,
you guys will not believe what Robo does when he's alone. He sits in the dark and scrolls on his phone.
I do, looking at what's
anybody? He's an internet goblin.
So yeah.
So what did you think of was that the first time you ever had cookout, Robo?
Yes. It was one, it was hard to decide what to get because I'm indecisive when it comes to that kind of thing. It's like,
also the menu is overwhelming. I know what I'm getting every single time I walk in those doors, and I just had it the other day whenever we were on the way back from our camping trip, and it still overwhelms me just trying to find what I want just to make sure it's still there.
Yeah. And we were of course we had plenty of time in the drive-through because it was a long line. And so was scrolling on the phone, looking, trying to decide, and of course got to the box, made a snap decision. And when they said $10 back, I thought, oh man, that's amazing. When was the last time I paid under $10 for drive-through?
Yep.
And then we got around, and then I realized, oh, okay, it's a smaller burger. It's not a pile of onion rings.
Yeah.
Which was perfect for 2-3 in the morning. I didn't want a huge meal.
Snack size. Yeah.
It's cookout is perfect for lunch or late night food after like a night out or a night up. Yeah. We just had it for lunch on the way back from my camping trip, and for $18, my wife and I, 2 meals, a milkshake for $18, and it's perfect for lunch. So yeah, cookout is good. I wish we would have been able to make it, but it was just at that point, me and the OOTB boys, we were just ready for bed, and you all left at like 1 or 2 a.m. or something crazy.
Yeah, it was still late. I would have preferred Waffle House just because.
Same,
but get some scattered, smothered, covered chunk. But
I think next year we'll have to do the Waffle House. Yeah, next year we'll definitely have to do the Waffle House again because that was a great run, and we'll try to have to go at like 11 or midnight because wait until 1 or 1:30 was. And I'm not gonna lie, whenever me, Justin, and Nate got back to our hotel room, whenever you all were going to cookout, I was like, I kind of feel like we should have gone because I feel like I'm just like
you're missing out. You got that.
We're missing out on time with the boys. Like we're getting, even though like we sleep is good, but then whenever one of you all said you waited in the drive-thru for half an hour and didn't get back to you had to eat it at the hotel room at 3 a.m. We were like, yeah, we're glad we didn't end up going because that.
Yeah, the phone said the lobby was supposed to be open, but it wasn't.
Damn. Maybe they were.
That's like last year when you guys were hanging out like super late, and I'm like, I'm going back to the hotel room. I'm going to sleep. I'm over 40 years old. I am not. I'm not like a stay up till 3 a.m. drinking 2 nights in a row kind of guy.
One night's fine.
One night. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good one night. I can hang one night.
Yeah. I like my
Zach's
strategy.
throwing his figures around on the road, and I have to go pick them up like a little baby.
That was a Commander Pyre figure. It can stay in the road. It's fine. But I like my strategy. First night, you go heavy on the drinking.
Yeah.
Second day, you just do some casual beers throughout the day and night. You know, you don't go too hard or anything.
Get a little hair of the dog, and you get a little.
Yeah.
That seemed to be everybody's plan the second night because coffee was on the floor.
Coffee was done. Coffee was absolutely cooked. Nate was absolutely cooked. I don't think Nate could do any alcohol the second day. I'm not sure if coffee did or not. But me and Wilbon were pounding them all weekend. So
we'll get Brian to come again next year, and he'll bring the green stuff, and you'll be
the good stuff. Yeah,
the good stuff.
That's the only thing I will say. That's one of the only things that we're missing was Mike and Brian, because like me and Nate all weekend. Me and Nate were like, man, Brian would be so clutch right now, handing us the Benjamin Franklin. You know, just handing it over. Hand me the Obi-Wan Kenobi right now. At like midnight would hit so hard, but it was missing. So Brian, we missed you. But ICCCon overall, it was a fun time hanging out with everybody. If you're listening to this podcast next year, if you're within driving range, I really think you ought to check out, go into the con. It's a great time. You can get great deals at the con. Hopefully next year there's more modern figures. It's a very Kenner heavy con, and I like looking at all the Kenner stuff and all the older 3.75 inch stuff. Like the battle packs are insanely fun to look at. Stuff like this. There was a room with a bunch of figures from like this era and like the battle packs from that era and stuff. Like they're all fun to look at, even if you don't buy them. But hopefully next year there's some more modern stuff. But I would definitely recommend it. Next year, if we're press pass again, use code BSC10 or whatever. Just be sure you
can't advertise next year's press pass discount before you have a press pass.
I'm just saying. I feel
like
that
works.
I feel like the odds of getting one for the 5th year in a row are fairly high.
Maybe it was really tough for you to get one this year.
That is true, but they came in clutch for me. I don't think I would have got it if I didn't email Michael Haven's wife. I went to the boss. I skipped Vader and went to the Emperor. I went directly to Palpatine with this one.
But I forgot that Nate and Justin didn't get. That's why it didn't go Sunday, huh? Didn't have
because we also we probably would have walked to the floor once or twice, but also at the same time, being there Friday, Saturday, you've seen the con floor.
Yeah, you've seen the floor
times.
Yeah.
So we're fine just to head out. I wouldn't have been opposed to walking around the floor a little bit, but it was also good just to get on the road too, because they also had to. Normally we leave on Saturday night and they drive back to Indiana Sunday morning or afternoon. But they had to drive back to Indiana.
Lord of the Rings all night. That was a fun time.
Yeah, that was awful. That was terrible.
That was great. That was fun. Like, here's 12 hours of movie we're gonna make you watch.
Yeah, so I was glad to skip out on that.
Dang.
Watching Attack of the Clones was fun though.
Yeah, we watched Attack of the Clones and then we watched Lord of the Rings. So it was
the extended Lord of the Rings, not just we watched the longest Star Wars movie and then the extended cut of Lord of the Rings. I was so tired I wanted to gouge my eyes out for sleep.
You were into it.
I mean, I was trying to follow the story and be into the story, but I was also really tired. So
now we talking all 3 movies? You watched all?
No,
3?
It was just the first one.
Okay.
Well, we put the first one on, and then Zach went to bed, and we put the second one on, and Nate, Justin, and I watched most of the second one. I think it was like 4 a.m. before I actually fell asleep.
Y'all are crazy.
It's the first of the second one where there's a lot of running, right? Running.
Yeah.
Running.
It's a lot of running. Yeah, and a lot of walking and a lot of running. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time though, and it'll be fun next year.
It was fun.
Sorry,
it'll be fun next year again.
I was a little sad I missed out.
It's all right. You'll. I mean, you got to move. It's a big move and all that. So there's always next year, and hopefully Robo will be there again, hanging out with everybody.
Yeah. It should be. It's in that middle ground between Toy Fair and San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
His calendar is open, is what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm a pretty busy guy.
Yeah.
And I only go if they upgrade my room.
That's right. Don't they know who you are?
Royalty here.
No, it's nice to go to a show just to go. Like you said earlier, it's instead of having to take pictures, run to panels, you got to get this info.
You're just there as a fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just one of everyone else. Like you're not a featured guest. You don't have a panel. You have obligations you have to worry about.
Table.
I mean, you'll still get stopped because people recognize
podcast
you
stage
and like whatnot. But like it's different when you're there as a fan than when you're there on like an official capacity.
Yeah.
Not that I've never experienced the other side. I'm just saying I could imagine it being that way if I were to experience the other side.
Now you're going to San Diego. Are you going to drag Larson? You're going to finally get him to?
No, Dan's going to be there. Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Dan's going to be there. As far as I know, we're Dan and Jay from Geek Dad Life. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to get there. I did buy tickets. I don't think it's 100% that I'll be there, but I'm really it's like high percentage that I'll also be there. But
now I have FOMO. Like you two and Dan Larson are gonna be hanging out honestly, all weekend. Like now I'm getting FOMO.
It is funny when they were talking about like, oh yeah, we're gonna be at Comic-Con, and then I'm like, that's like, guys, I'm like literally moving away. Like I could have gone every year. Every year. San Diego Comic-Con is so boring now because it's always been there. And now, like, the one time I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see. Fun. We'll see how it works out. I hope it works out fine. Mm-hmm. Either way, I might just stay. I might just come anyway because, like I said, I have the ticket. I might just come and, like, hang out in the area and just, like, when you guys go to dinner or whatever, I'll show up.
Oh, is a pass a problem? I mean...
So the pass would be the problem. Yeah.
Getting in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But so I might have a hookup, but we'll see.
Gotcha.
But like,
and that's what I was thinking about. I was like, there's always somebody on the.
That's what I'm saying. There's always someone where you could snap a pass or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how it works out.
Robo, are you there in an official capacity at SDCC?
Yeah, doing pictures and posting and video and.
Do you have a press pass or a professional pass?
Now that I don't have a front page to take care of anymore, it's kind of, I'm having to adjust because when it was the front page, post pictures, then right now, got to get them up, got to get them. Mm-hmm. And now it's just, I take the pictures and we go back and talk about them somewhere else or later. It's not as, plus I'm old. Yeah, I'm not.
You're not as spry as you used to be.
Yeah. Those first few years at San Diego, it was like, I got to be on the floor. I'm here. I got to be on the floor all day. If it's open, I'm there. Now we leave for lunch. We show up a couple hours late to miss the lines. It's just, we'll be there when we be there. We'll get in.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the creative mentality difference to like me and Zach. Like whenever I used to be this way, and then at some point it clicked where I'm like, I just don't have to be first anymore. Like whenever there's an announcement, Zach's like making those TikTok videos, like boom, boom, gotta get those views. He's got to
be the first TikTok,
which I respect the hustle. I used to be like that when I would do Black Series news videos on my YouTube channel. Like I had to make it as soon as it was there. I'm recording that video. I'm getting information out so I can get those views. And now it's like, I'm good. My views will get out there at some point, but like I've got better things to do right now than make a video about it. I don't know.
I had a short day of it because I was excited. I was like, I wanted to create something. But most of the time anymore, it's just like that can wait for Saturday. The rewind, get to it.
The rewind, exactly. So I think that's the difference. Like there's a point where it stops becoming exciting and it becomes more like an obligation. Like you're doing it because you have to. And that does take a lot of the joy out of it, where it's harder to get excited for just raw news because now it becomes like a job.
Work.
It's work. And then I'm not saying that work. Yeah. I'm not saying that work can't be fun or whatever, but it does mentally, it changes what you're doing to where when you're first starting out, like I remember when I was building up my views and stuff, I was doing it because I was excited about talking about it. And I'm not like, it's not that I'm not excited anymore. Whenever there's news here, whenever they do a big announcement and we do like a Black Series Cantina episode, I'm excited to talk about the stuff. But I don't have that I have to talk about it right now mentality I used to have. And I don't know when that went away, but it definitely was that grind that sort of killed it. Like that treadmill of content that you always have to be making something new.
Plus also what might help with that is like we have the group chat now. Yeah. You know, so anytime there's big reveals, we're like we're texting each other.
We're texting each other immediately.
So that's also kind of an outlet that you're getting.
Yeah. Outlet is a good word. As long as it's getting out somewhere, like discussing with somebody. Yes. Yeah. It could be me calling Veebs or texting a couple of buddies or something. Yeah. As long as it's. But today I was just like,
talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's weird because like it's inside of you, and I have to let it out. And like I say this a lot. My wife doesn't care. My wife is a lover. Like we talk about a lot of great stuff, but she does not care about toys. So and like telling her doesn't have that same feeling because I know she doesn't care. So I have to talk to somebody who cares.
Yeah. You don't want that dead look back at you. Like they're staring through you or thinking about something else.
She'll give me the polite nod, like, "Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah, that's really neat. Oh, they're making him. Oh, neat. That's so cool." Like I could tell she doesn't care.
See, I don't even bore my wife. I don't even bore my wife with it because I know it would just go in one ear right out the other. Like it was funny. She said, because my wife and then Justin's fiance and Nate's girlfriend were hanging out all weekend. Like they're good friends and they were hanging out in Louisville with her all weekend. And so I think Lucy, Justin's fiance, was like, "Oh, they met Robo." And Paige, who's Nate's girlfriend, was like, "Oh, they met Robo. That's awesome." And then my wife was like, "Who's Robo?"
Who's Robo?
I don't like talk about any of this stuff like with her, you know? So I thought that was kind of funny, but that's just how my outlet is, you know, I love providing the news for people about what figures are coming out because, you know, like, you know, when I had the really big Instagram page, I was trying to be first to post. Well, I was beating Matt. He doesn't post figures now until he's in Australia, so he still doesn't post until the next day. But I was always trying to be first, but now with ever since that got randomly taken down, I got the BSC Instagram now. I don't feel the need to be first on Instagram. You know, I'll just wait until all the HD figure photos are out, and I'll just post them all at once. Yeah. And then now, but for TikTok, I got to be the first on TikTok. I got to get those out, provide the news for people. And, you know, there's financial gain there. So it feels
you know what also kind of killed it a little bit for me was putting all the work into making stuff and then having people like in the comments ask questions that I answer in the video.
Yeah, it's one of the most frustrating. Like
I worked really hard making a video to answer all these questions.
I'll literally say, "Watch the video," or "Did you watch the video?"
And then they respond something like, "Well, you couldn't just tell me. Like it's so hard to just tell me." I'm like, "I did. I made a video. I made a video."
Also, I'll kind of do the scummy thing where I won't exactly say when or where they go up for pre-order. So I get a lot of comments of people saying, "Hey, when can I get this? Where does this?" And I'll comment it so that way it boosts the algorithm.
You're
sometimes
engagement farming. Yeah, you're engagement farming.
But sometimes I'll say, like, if it's specifically like a Walmart exclusive, I'll try to mention Walmart. But if it's like a fan channel and you can buy it anywhere, like I'm not bringing that up. You're gonna get it wherever. But if it's like an Amazon exclusive or Walmart exclusive, I'll mention that, but I'm not going to mention it every single time.
Yeah. You know what you should start doing is purposefully either mispronouncing something or getting something slightly wrong. and then people comment on it because they feel like they have to comment on it. They have to correct you, which is just straight engagement farming. And I love it.
But then get mad about it.
Then we get mad about it.
When you do it, then you get mad when they do ask. And it's like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I should probably talk about Dragon Ball more because of stuff like that. Or Warhammer 40K. Because those fandoms are just like, you did not pronounce enough Super Saiyans in that sentence. It's this. I'm like, oh.
Fake fan. Fake fan. How dare you? How dare the words of my favorite thing come out of your mouth slightly wrong?
Yep. Yeah. or Mafex is pronounced like this.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Mafex, Mafex.
I say them all.
Medicom.
Pletho says talk more about Jury.
Oh. I think I did say something like, did anybody even want this character? Oh.
The answer is yes.
Oh.
Oh gosh. But I think that's probably going to do it. We have the Hall of Fame left.
Oh yeah, we have to do a Hall of Fame. So Robo, I don't think we did this last time you were on.
Mm-hmm.
We've been putting Black Series figures into the Hall of Fame. The only rule is they have to have been out for a year, and we'll go over them all so you know what's been in there. We let the guests give first pick. It doesn't have to be like the best figure in the world, just a figure. It's more of a vibe, like a figure that you think belongs in everyone's collection because it's just a good figure to have.
Like what would you put in the Black Series Hall of Fame? And we'll go over what we have. We have the Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader, the Gam Guard, Scout Trooper and Speeder. We have Greedo, Luke and the Dagobah set with Yoda, Fennec Shand. We have the 2020 Stormtrooper, Count Dooku, Figure and Dan and the Modal Nodes, the Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, the good version, not... Never mind, I'm not even going to say it. We have the Return of the Jedi Deluxe Boba Fett. Good. We have the Rebel Hoth Soldier, Asajj Ventress, Dak and the Snowspeeder, specifically for the Snowspeeder, not necessarily for Dak. Cad Bane and Toto 360. Lando Calrissian.
We put that was Wilbon. That was Wilbon's suggestion, and I loved it.
It's a great figure.
It's a great figure. It's way underrated. Yeah.
Then we have General Veers because the armor swap, probably the best officer we have in the line. Darth Malgus, the Royal Guard, Admiral Akbar in his Return of the Jedi look, not the Last Jedi look. The Death Watch Mando, R2-D2, the newer release. Okay. So not the original one. The Glavis Ringgold Mando, Chewbacca with C-3PO, deluxe set. Bespin Han Solo, Zeb Aurelios, the Super Battle Droid, and last episode we put in the Sith Trooper. So what will be entry number 29? Well, this is a suggestion, and then we'll chat about.
Yeah, we discuss it. Yeah, we discuss it.
We discuss it.
Because the one that shoots to my brain, I don't know why I love this figure so much, is Zuckuss.
Zuckuss?
Yeah.
What do you love about? I don't know. What do you love about Zuckuss?
I don't know what it is.
The sculpting is crazy.
Well, that's one of the early, like the soft goods actually work worked for Black Series.
Yeah.
And it may cover up a lot of the figure, but it looks good covering up the figure. It's got a muddy look to it. Yeah. It looks like what he did in the movie. It's now that's a tough choice right there. There's a lot of nostalgia in that other figure, but the regular Zuckuss is
the regular Zuckuss. Toys R Us exclusive Zuckuss. I love that head sculpt. Like, and look at that weathering in it. The sculpt, the wash. Yeah. That weird little fleshy canister he's got.
Even the weathering.
Got the left hand.
Yeah.
The left hand. The weathering on the chest piece.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it now, but if we got this in Black Series now, there'd probably be no weathering on this chest
probably
piece.
Not. Yeah. That was during a good period.
That bounty hunter scene is so good.
We actually don't have. I mean, we have Boba Fett, but that's the Return of the Jedi look specifically. Yeah. So this would be the first figure from that bounty hunter scene that would be in there, and I think that's honestly.
I think I'm ready. I think I'm willing to put this one in there.
I honestly, the figure I was ready to put up was Bespin Escape Leia. But no, I think Zuckuss is a good choice. I think you've made a strong case for Zuckuss, and it's a figure that wasn't even on my Hall of Fame potential list, which I love because it's surprising. And
it's also just like there's certain figures we talk about all the time. Just there's so many figures that we just haven't mentioned them all.
Yeah, where like people have brought them up. I'm like, well, I'll put that on my list for maybe a future episode or whatever. And right now I've got probably like 15 figures on there.
Mike, when is the Archive 501st Clone Trooper going to be added to the Hall of Fame?
I mean, a year from like last month.
So. No, the archive one, the original.
Oh, the archive? Never.
Right? We're adding that
Never.
one, right?
Never.
Right?
Never. That
I'm gonna have my own subsection of like old figures that are articulated like trash, but they look great.
Put Hall of Shame on there, and I'll put that on there.
Hey, easy. You better ease up. You better ease up right now. I'm gonna be looking for a new co-host if you don't straighten up there.
Yeah, I think we're no. Come on.
You talk about the Archive 501st bad one more time.
I'm gonna talk about any of that 1.0 Clone Trooper body bad, and that includes the Obi-Wan Kenobi, the head they put on that body. That it's just a terrible, terrible figure. It's not fun to play with, and to me, that's the thing. Like, if it's not fun to play with, I don't care how good it looks. If it's not fun to play with, it's a bad toy, and I'll never put it in the Hall of Fame. And I'm not saying you can't like it. You could love it. It could be your favorite figure because you love that character so much or whatever. I just don't think it's a good toy. And so I just can't put it in there.
That's fair. That's fair.
And also, you're a bad person for liking it.
Oh, there it is.
I'm kidding.
Shots fired.
God, I'm so kidding.
You know what? Actually, Mike, I totally agree. The 1.0 clone is so awful. You should pay me to take your.
You're doing me a favor.
Loose.
You're doing me a favor by sending you all my 1.0 clones.
Yeah, but you should pay me to take them. So. I think that's a deal. That works perfect.
I will send you all my 1.0 clones when I move. After I move, and I'm going to make a big old live stream where I'm unboxing them all because I put them all in baggies. I don't know if I talked about this. I put every Black Series figure I have in a Ziploc bag with their.
It's easier than putting them back in the box and moving.
Yeah, I threw away all the boxes for the most part. But I will say this: I lost 2 lightsabers doing that. Because in my head, I'm like, I'm going to remove the lightsabers from the hilts to make it so there's no possibility for them to break.
The bend and all that. Yeah.
And the process of removing them, I broke Mace Windu's lightsaber and Dakin Gera's lightsaber, trying to make it so I didn't break their lightsabers. So, worked out well.
Yeah. Good plan.
Damn.
Good plan, Mike. I did a good job.
Good job.
Yeah.
I just picture like Obi-Wan whenever he's tied up. He looks over. It's like,
good job. Yeah.
That's like one of the most underrated funny moments in Star Wars. Because that makes me crack up every time. Just the way he delivers that line.
It's the line delivery.
He like looks up. He's like, I came to rescue you. He looks up with a chain. Good job. So that's going to do it for Black Series Cantina episode 97. Thank you for listening, whether you're listening to the audio podcast on your way to work, while you're at work, however we can make your day easier while you're listening, we appreciate it. Or if you're watching the video, if you're not watching the video, you can join our Patreon. We have a tier for every budget. We have a general support tier for $2. You can watch the video for $5. If you want to support at a tier to watch us live, that's $11.38 for the Star Wars reference. And then we do have a Black Series Cantina VIP tier. If you would like to join that, it's just the cost of one figure a month for $25. We have, I think, 6 or 7 VIPs right now, and we're going to be doing
we have 8 VIPs actually.
Yeah, we have a good amount. So
yeah,
we do a VIP hangout live streamed every month for our Patreon members. Our VIP members get to hang out with us for about a couple hours. We're going to be doing that tomorrow night, so you can join the Patreon. You can also check out that as well. If you cannot help us financially, we still really appreciate anything you can do. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That really helps us out. If you do want to support us financially but can't do Patreon for some reason, we have some merch if you want to get a cool mug or a hoodie. The quality on this hoodie is really, really nice, and the hats and the t-shirts are great from the new spread shop, so go check that out. Join our Facebook group, Black Series Cantina. It's a private group only. So, Robo, if you use Facebook and you want to join, that would be great.
It's not worth it, honestly.
Yes, it is. Some cool discussions going on in there, and I like that it's a private group. So there's no craziness going on that you see in other Facebook groups
It's a pretty drama-free group, which is nice.
Yeah.
I do like that. Yeah.
And then keep the email segment
for Facebook, but
I know.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
We got a good group of listeners, so we appreciate all of our listeners. Keep the email segment alive with Black Series news being so dead. And Mike, we don't know if you're going to be on the next podcast because
I don't know either. Honestly, we might have a guest host the next podcast because I don't know if I'll have internet. I don't know if I probably won't have stuff, honestly, because it takes them. Weirdly enough, it takes a truck a long time to drive from San Diego to Illinois.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll do a solo podcast. You never really know.
We might have a guest host. I think we should get a guest host.
But keep the email segment alive, especially for next episode, because Black Series news seems to be so dead. And if Mike's not here, we're going to need stuff to talk about. So shoot us an email, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. Robo, if people haven't heard of you somehow, where can they find you and what do you got going on?
Usually on most platforms, I think everything is changed over to Robo Don't Know, except for my main Facebook page. The one is Robo Don't Know. The other one's still Whoosh Robo because it's not a real name, and Facebook's like, you can't change it unless you have a real name. And I'm stuck in space.
Sure.
So, yeah, Robo Don't Know. I've got the rewind's going to be super long this week because of Marvel Legends. Mm-hmm. And no, I say super long. It's going to be longer than usual. I'll be on Unparalleled Universe tomorrow night.
Oh, nice.
And Figure Ball Monday night.
Cool.
Oh, you're doing the rounds then.
Every time I do a show, it's like, oh, man.
Well, Robo's doing shows.
I need to do some streaming. And then I actually dropped my StreamYard because, boy, the price jumps were just kind of.
It did. It went.
Yeah.
It went nuts. Yep.
So I like jumping on other people's.
Yeah. Yeah. The price of StreamYard went so high. I'm really glad we have Patreon supporters. So I don't really feel it. Yeah. But it's nice. Yeah.
And I wasn't live streaming a lot anymore. It'd been a couple months, and I thought,
sure,
there's no reason to pay for this.
Yeah. If you're not using it, it doesn't make sense to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, where can any new listeners we've gotten, because maybe they wouldn't just listen to Robo, but if they like us and want to stick around, where can they find you on the socials?
I have to say, like in the last week, I've gotten a couple of new listeners that I can tell are new because they're going back through my older videos, and I'm getting like the same names commenting on on older videos, and that's always fun to see. Like someone found me and is clearly going back to my old stuff back when I made good videos and not new stuff where I don't make good videos. But
oh hush,
yeah, you can watch me.
I like your longer form content.
Thank you. It's easier to edit, that's for sure, because I don't edit it. I just record it, yap, and throw it up. But so I'm on YouTube, Mike Case. I'm on the Instagram. I'm on TikTok, Mike Case 82. Like pretty much anywhere that normal people are on, I'm there. You can just type in my name and find me. I do like to post videos about Black Series, but I do post videos about other stuff as well. So be prepared for that kind of content.
Yep. You can follow me on Instagram with the show name Black Series Cantina. Follow me on TikTok. I'm less than 100 followers away from 27,000. So go follow me there. That's at the Star Wars Black Series. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks for another Black Series Cantina episode 98. We'll see you then. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.